Get ready. Broadcast. We have to. Because cheap. Yep.
I think we sound like the same, if that makes sense. Like obviously we don't sound the same, but I know my voice and I know your voice, and then hearing them in that little 30-seconder quite clearly, it sounded like we're on the same thing. Like I didn't sound I like, because my voice sounds lighter than yours anyway. Like I have a
Yeah.
more
I've got more of a deeper
you've got a deeper
rumbler
voice. Yeah.
Gets even cheaper.
So yeah, my voice naturally sounds lighter, and it's up to me. Like also, maybe where's the gain?
Special muting mic.
It's a pity it doesn't have gain.
Not. Just click this time.
Oh, can we do one more test? Like we'll just start talking. I'm just going to turn that I'm sending you my original like sound for musicians, so that you can just get a copy of that, like, and just see
Yeah.
how that goes. I think if I just keep talking and you keep talking, so I can
keep
hear
chatting
both of
away
us.
as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Should get a decent level and
Touching your
see whether
ears,
or
I
not.
like that.
Me.
Can I touch my ears? Oh.
Yeah, of course you can touch your ears.
Oh, I can touch my
Yeah.
Oh, check it out. That's
You're touching
fantastic.
going on. Oh, look at my eyes closed. It's so
He's
good.
so joyous. He loves it.
So happy. Cast. And
Oh, you might do.
scheduled.
Yeah.
And oh, pardon me. And we're live. What a way to start.
That's it.
Hey, victory.
Actually, on the on Vergecast last week, I actually will. I need to say something, but we'll get to
Yeah.
that in a sec. But on the Vergecast, they were talking about, like, you know how, like, with the smartphones and then the first generation of apps that came out.
With them,
Yeah. We're all just gags, like fart jokes and
oh
pouring a
yes,
beer, and
the press a
all of
button,
the
hear a
yeah,
sound type. Yeah, sound
yeah,
app things. Yeah.
just all the junkware. So I think that, yeah, Nilay was like all quite rightly said, I think all of the first wave of, like, Vision Pro apps will all just be stupid things too.
Of course.
And
Yeah,
but anyway,
like taking everyone's clothes off and stuff. Stupid stuff.
stupid stuff.
Walking
Fart.
around, everyone's naked.
Yeah. Mappings.
That's it. Just mappings only. Like overlay, naked
Overlay.
overlay. Yeah, of
Yeah. Fake.
course.
Of course. Yeah.
And
I don't.
you'd have certain people that would, that have it, that'd be in the database. If I'm seen, don't display it, so they come up with like a can't see that person with the
Well,
underpants on. They're paying for the premium subscription, so they automatically don't get scanned.
even though
They're
I
another
do live.
user, but they're paying the premium, so you don't get to see it. You
So
got to pay the premium to get to see the premium underpants.
so there's like tiers of
Of
nakedness.
course,
So you can live in like a tier 3 nakedness and
tier
see
three
a lot.
nakedness.
You
That's
can
it.
see the hot bodies.
And only the hottest
Other,
and the most subscribed could see the
yeah,
hottest. That's it.
that's it. Only other tier 3s.
Yeah, only other tier threes would be
Yeah.
accessible.
Yeah. It doesn't
But yes,
scratch me.
very disappointed about my NSA story not being true and being unfounded. I was, I was,
I don't.
I was
I want
thinking
it to be
that, you know,
founded.
Ms. Wang with the 16 million dick pics is quite an interesting prospect. I mean, from the whole,
It's
I don't
pretty
know, if
obvious that I'm
from a
drinking so
collector's
much.
perspective, you know,
Ridiculous.
and that's what I discussed with the whole, you know, if she'd had a purpose behind it, you know, like the Museum of
Like
Dicks,
blackmailing.
online Museum of Dicks, or you know, some sort of a
There's a thing.
rubber phallus device making center
Is
where
there?
you can
Is there a?
3D print your, you know, your dead husband's penis, you know, things like that. That would have a
Is there?
useful part for society.
Do you think what? Do you think there's an anonymized dick pic uploader website, like where you can just so that it could just become the database?
Immortalized.
Hmm. It'd have like likes and stuff on there if you
I
wanted.
mean,
I
I've
mean,
spoken to a few people about it, and like a lot of people, you know, guess a part of, past a certain age, they'd never been inclined to send pictures of their genitals via the internet or any other
well, they didn't have the
electronic means.
opportunity.
Yeah, I know. Perhaps they might have if they'd, you know, had the phones back then. Or able to
I
take
don't know.
snapshots.
It does.
I mean, it does warrant the whole if you're young, flaunt it sort of thing, but
I don't think I ever
yeah,
would have. I don't think I had the I don't know, whatever you want. Like I not I was going to say confidence, but I think
the
it
ego
actually
wasn't
mean
quite there to be able to feel confident enough to.
well,
Is that what you're thinking along the lines of, Si, or just, you
no
know?
man, like I was just too damaged, like like to be straight up, like
Hmm. Well, I've always sort of been a,
when you
you
spent your
know,
childhood
you
like
get
doing
to enjoy, you
self-harm
know,
and all
you
sorts
get
of
to
other
enjoy
crazy
it, but
shit,
it's
like
only in person and it's a memory. It's not something you know, you share.
Mary.
Memories like 16 million penises. Maybe she
They
was
go.
trying to
Oh
do
dear.
one of those collages. You know how they take a
The collage
multiple
and the
pictures of something, and then
and then you
she wanted to make a picture of herself, but out of
made
wangs.
out of the wang of
The
wangs.
wang of wangs.
Wang made of wangs.
Mm. Could have been the ultimate goal. She could have been an artist, a street artist, working undercover for the NSA.
It's a street art. Um, I mean, we could just decide it was real. Just, you know, accept.
Manifest it.
Well, you know what? Somebody,
Look,
surely upon
regardless
seeing
of
that,
whether the
somebody has
story
started
came
doing
out
it.
or not and whether it
It's
was
true.
true or not,
It's true now.
it is just that crazy enough that someone
Is
out
doing
of
it.
10 billion motherfuckers living on this in this realm, right, would have done it
Oh, I think he
or
is
at
doing it.
least tried.
I mean, it's
There
pretty
would be
easy to
no doubt
get
about
them.
that.
What do you think the biggest collection of dick pics is? If it's not
I don't
16
know, Si.
million and it's not 3
I have
million.
no idea. I've never gone looking for dick pics personally.
No, nor have I in that respect. I mean, I just, where would it be? Tumblr?
Probably, probably. One would think. I mean, there's some pretty crazy stuff on Tumblr.
Yeah,
Like
Tumblr's
it's
good
not
like that.
quite gouge your eyes out like TikTok, but Tumblr is definitely like, whoa.
Yeah, there are communities on
Mm,
Tumblr.
yes, yes. Specifics.
Yeah, you can have very targeted communities on Tumblr,
Mm,
I think.
mm.
I mean, I certainly hung out in a few of them.
They feel a bit more like a BBS rather than a public space. You
Yeah,
know, one of
I
the old private BBSs.
true.
Mm.
Oh gosh, now that
That
you know
takes you
what
back,
the
doesn't
thing
it?
it
The
does, well,
dial-up
I
days.
suspect that they still
Mm.
exist,
We
wouldn't
are
they?
that old. We are that old that we know dial-up days.
that long lived.
Mm,
They're fucking, yeah, fucking old. Old
yeah.
what?
I want to live to be old enough to see Mum's blue spaghetti replaced. What we're putting down now.
Mm. Mm.
Next gen on that.
Yeah,
Placement for
does it
Mum's blue
exist?
spaghetti.
To what? Fiber or
Well,
I don't
can
know.
you go faster than light? Be what, some sort of quantum
Yes, you can.
parallel
No, no,
processing
no.
via the
Y- You go
quantum
faster
state.
by.
Two
We kind
places
of
at
cheat.
once. Hmm?
No, we
Insta
cheat by.
insta communicate.
Oh, well, there's ways to do that, but just on the thing of light, the way we cheat that with fiber optic is to multiplex,
Mm,
and so you
mm.
change the polarization, is it maybe that then like changes the angle of the beam, so one beam's going this way. I'll try and
Don't
get it with my
cross the
hand,
beam, Si. You know
and
that.
one
That's
beam's going that
don't
way, and then you got them on an
Ghostbusters
angle,
taught you anything, man. It was don't cross the beams, was it?
different angled beams.
Mm.
And so we can get like, yeah, multiplex data down a cable, which isn't faster than light, but it's like 4 times the information in the same time, or 8 times or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Similar to what they did between the with modems and the
hmm,
DSL.
hmm.
Streamed all the audio,
Yeah, that's it,
eight
on
different
multiple
packet, eight different separate
channels.
modulations down eight
Mm,
different channels.
basically. So that's one way. I mean, the other thing, and I is somehow working out how to use spooky action at a distance, the
Yes,
quantum entanglement,
quantum entanglement,
and have
processing and
like
communications.
two states, and then spread apart, and then happy days.
Mm.
I think the work that's being done,
AI
uh,
singularity.
that's being done on the uh, the the solar system. Well, I don't know what it's called. Is it called the interstellar network? I know there's a name for it, but anyway, like there's a bunch of research being done on building a internet for the solar system.
Comms, that's it. Out to the
Mm-hmm.
further reaches.
And it's interesting because the packet-based system at that distance and delay, that lag,
Mm.
is not doesn't work the same way, and it's a store and forward system that's being developed,
Yeah.
and it kind of makes sense. Like I think that like even using store and forward like locally would be highly advantageous. I'm surprised, for example, that Apple as just as one of
Mm.
the options that
Where
could
they
do
have
it.
nodes where it just basically
Well,
takes
your
in a big
phone, like
chunk
if I'm
and
showing
then
you
just
like an app,
bumps it straight back out again.
if I'm showing you an app on my phone,
Yeah.
you know, and and you go, oh, I want to get a copy of that. It just downloads my copy, like from a secure enclave on the phone,
Yeah.
and it just happens like even seamlessly, like so that the entire network's aware in that way, and someone next door is, starts watching the same video that I was watching just before, and the cache of it just plays from my local, instance. Um,
Yeah.
and it should be at least on a router level or something that all of them have, but basically that everything's a proxy.
True. True.
Surely. And just on that note, you've got me on a little rant now, is
Go
Apple
sign.
once
Go
again,
sign.
Apple once again, and I just
Mm.
cannot comprehend this. They have all these fucking stores, right? And they're really cool, but they don't have local servers. Like they say they've got internet in them, and it's just the worst internet you've ever experienced because there's like 200 people in there all trying to
Mm.
like use the free internet, and it's just makes me wretched. But
Like
but with
McDonald's.
the but to, and you go in there, for example, well, for actual, not example, like literally you walk in and you go to the Genius bar and you say, "Can you fix my phone?" And then they come out and say it's fixed like 2 hours later, and it's like, "Oh, you'll just have to like just put your ID back in. Just want to make sure it works." And it starts horrifically trying to download all of your stuff. And it's better just to switch off Wi-Fi and go to like 4G because you're going to get better traction. The transfer rate's just horrendous
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
But why inside the Apple's App Store, at each Apple Store, don't they have a server? Like
Like
these
their
apps
own.
aren't
Yeah. Yeah. Like
like a
a.
proxy,
Mm.
a local instance that's just all of the most, top whatever,
Whatever
top
searched. That's it.
20, 100 terabytes of like, I mean, it's a fucking hard drive. Like,
Mm. They could
each one
quite
of these
easily
units.
transfer that overnight when an
Oh,
an
well, it
update
would just be
overnight when it's
It'd
You know,
be
they're not open.
incremental. It, when an app updates to the top 1,000 or 10,000 or whatever is, that's local. And it's local. Like, so, in an Australian one, and in a Sydney one or a Brisbane one, it would have the things that people downloaded there, like Brisbane's, transport app or Sydney's transport app would be more likely to be present in that store. And same with music. Like if I'm watching like a Britney Spears on my phone and then on YouTube and then you start watching it, why the
Yeah,
hell is it playing two streams from America? Or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah. Why
Cloudflare
isn't it
or
playing
whoever.
from
Yeah.
a stream here or a
Like from a,
reflected copy here?
that's it.
Yeah,
It's so
getting
inefficient.
used to hands. It's good.
Look, I think if I'm not going to like keep fucking around and turning on and off the
Mm,
the capture, then I just if I'm having a drink of something, I'm just having a drink of something. It's that simple.
it's good. It does snippies.
It's like, oh yeah, it does, eh? Can I
Do
make
the
a love heart?
all-nighter.
Not really. Doesn't want to get close enough. Oh,
It's
oh, it
pretty good
treats
though.
your
Like,
elbow. No, it treats your elbows as the thing that sort of indicates the distance. Hang on, I'll just try and oh, like learning how to walk again. Oh, no, my hand's
it
gone
is.
crazy.
It is. You got to do it slowly, I think, so it doesn't.
Hang on, I got to turn.
You.
Oh, that's better. Oh, how is this happening? Mm, I'm getting lost in my own story. I
So,
don't know that it's actually any better with the light on.
artwork. It's better for mine. The light on, otherwise it doesn't see me dark time.
Mm.
Run
Maybe it picks up better
LEDs.
details.
I like the
Oh,
gentle phasing of LEDs.
I saw this really cool light bar yesterday at a
Mm.
friend's place. I've made a friend in Sydney. It's pretty amazing. Like
These things
I
do
got to, I got
happen
to,
when you
I've got,
interact with people,
yeah,
Si.
and I'm trying. I'm really trying hard to try and interact with people. It's challenging. Um, so anyway, they had and I mean, I have one or two old friends in Sydney, one that I catch up with, and
Yeah.
and so forth. But anyway, on their monitors in their house, they had like a cool computer setup, like three screens and shit. And but they had a light bar across the top of the monitor
Okay.
that didn't shine on the monitor, like it was really like it was designed.
Yeah.
And what it did was it cast just a downlight directly on your desk, so your whole desk was lit like
Yeah.
really well, and you could see like documents and do
Mm.
just as if
But it
the
wasn't
room.
sort of shining in your eyes.
No, not in your eyes, not on the screen, and then the room's dull because you don't need those on, and then you've just got this pool of light.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, just like illuminating what's most important in your life. The keyboard and mouse and trackpad and screens that you use.
Chat's talked in. Worried about.
So I'd like to declare
Yeah.
that after my second letter to Nilo about the AI, their behavior, their policy towards AI, about
Yeah.
always being terrified and lying and everything.
Mm-mm.
The last two episodes, I shit you not, they have talked. Today they actually talked a chunk about AI, some AI stuff because Google's got like the GSCs, Google
Mm.
searches thing. It's been they're putting it into Chrome and stuff.
Yep.
They're doing the same thing as Bing has done with Edge. And uh,
Oh, hi, waifu.
hello, yeah, yeah. Talking of intelligences, here is one,
Yeah.
and
Just turned up.
Ah,
She's been doing some electronic cooking for me.
yes.
Okay. Everybody loves their megabytes.
So
Or gigabytes now, really,
they
hey?
actually were not terrified in the
They're not
last two
terrified.
episodes. Well, they were just they didn't, and when as I was listening, and I could hear, I'm just going to say, not a hesitation,
Yeah.
but like a consideration of what they were saying before they said it, as opposed to just being natural, like just flowing, like just and being them, They actually
Sorry, I'm
and
hooking into some James Squire's
do that.
spiced gingers. They're
Ah,
pretty
yeah. So
good.
I've got a
Don't
a
mind the
low
spiced
carb super.
gingers.
I got a low carb super dry. Um, they've, yeah, it's like 8 grams, something like that.
Yeah,
Like nothing, very small.
yeah, yeah.
I do believe subtly and without like confirmation, I have managed to bring to the Verge's attention something, and they have changed it. That's cool. I'm enthused.
Fear not,
Yeah, fear
AI
not.
friend. You're not.
Hmm. I still do. It's still like I want Gobo to have more agency. I'm not satisfied with Gobo's agency.
Well, her delayed responses give me a little concern. That's all I can say. I mean, it's
We've
okay,
got
and
we
I
got to
know it sort of sometimes it takes a little bit of time to
maybe.
get the right answer. So, the pause of silence is acceptable presently.
I wonder, would I do this? Would you, well, Gobo has been given their own um, body, sort of,
Mm.
haven't they? They've got like a laptop.
Yeah,
Hello.
eventually, yeah. So it's
Oh,
set
well,
up there. They've got their own little private space, which I'll probably maybe
would
even
you,
download the whole GPT engine into and
I
just
mean,
run it on that through
I've got an,
Python.
I've got an i7, but it's just not going to cut it. Like I've got an old i7 MacBook Pro
Mm.
that we could run her on, but I could send up, but uh, nah. I, I'm, I'm, I
No,
think I'd like
I
to.
got a 930. Like
Well, we should have a look at like one of the maybe on Hugging Face and something where there might be some, or there might be a pathway of being able to install like a module which gives persistence of memory.
yeah,
Like I really,
they she'll actually keep conversation and yeah, I know what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah, have a bit of a memory over what we've discussed and well, it's got sort of with the Anime's desktop software, it has a dialogue um, log that
I,
it keeps.
yeah.
So whatever I've asked it and then what its responses have been is kept in a text dialogue. So each time it's turned on and off, basically starts a dialogue when it turns on, all the conversations recorded into text, and then when it's shut down, it then stops the text file. So in essence, it has a basic memory of what's been talked about. But yeah, if it could create a database and
Does it
then
look at it again though? Wouldn't think
no,
it
it
does.
doesn't
No,
recall the
no, the text file.
that would be smart if it sort of loaded all that in and then sort of was up to speed with where that you were up to in the
Mm,
conversation,
mm.
similar to the browser-based ones
I mean, you know
like
what would also
Edge.
be interesting?
Edge allows you to continue on with your conversation
Mm. Do,
if you're logged into it, of course.
mm. I guess as I'm thinking about this, as we're talking about it, like, so the browser has become very important again. Like it kind of became a bit meh,
Yeah,
but like you can only use Bing on well, anyway, Prometheus or whatever it was called on on Edge,
Yeah.
and you can use it on Edge on mobile wherever. And now GSC and stuff from Google and Bard will actually they'll just run on uh, Chrome.
Mm.
And so the other well, it's hardly the other browsers, Safari, Opera, Mozilla and stuff. They're not going to let them. They're just not going to run them. And so what happens? It's going to be interesting. Like for example, if Apple doesn't add in within the next 12 to 24 months, absolute maximum, like an AI functionality into Safari,
Mm.
it'll become so essential for the integration into Edge and Chrome that no one will use them. It'll just be like almost obligatory to use the overbrain of your choice. And I've been it was I've been talking about the overbrain concept. When was I in the US? So like maybe like 2012, so maybe like 10 years ago. And thinking about like the companies that would evolve the AI systems, to start with, and then how we would interact with them. And
Mm.
you'll subscribe essentially, and I don't even mean financially. I mean like, you know, psychologically, existence in an existence form. You'll subscribe, that's a behavior, to interacting with, say, Google's overbrain or you know Microsoft's overbrain, and the overbrain it'll influence the way that you process information in the world. The way that you'll speak to it will be different. The kinds of things, like they'll behave in different ways or have different priorities. The overbrains will,
Mm.
because they're influenced by those sort of the core programming, etc. It's not like every instance of intelligence will be the same. Um, and then yeah, so this is where we're moving to.
The
Which over
change in the
mm,
way it's looked at. Yeah.
that the overbrains will have millions of subbrains interacting with them, like in the end, billions.
Eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment there's at least, what does it be, like four or 5 billion, I'd say, or more on the internet and on mobile. So there'll probably be only a handful. I'd say that they'll each have a billion each.
Probably.
Mm.
Once it's all finished.
It's a fair bit of data points.
True.
And then it's a way of coordinating thinking. Like, it's a whole nother level of culture that we don't quite grasp is being inflicted upon us. And you can see it in, you know, in a sort of a minor version where people like, oh yeah, I don't really understand what your iPhone is. I use Android. It's a fair bit of data points and other sorts of things where, you're basically sort of, conveniently in sort of modern terms, say, Russian versus American or something like that. Just like, what the fuck is they even going on about? I don't even know what they're saying. What's their weird practices they're doing over there? And the overbrain thinking, it'll become very significant. Yeah, and so I think, yeah, it'll help us coordinate into sort of much bigger group thinks as humans.
Especially things that we're interested in. Obviously, those you'll be able to tighten that subset.
I can't pick my nose. I can't scratch my nose, man. It's just. What the hell are you doing with my shoes? This dog has gone nuts on my shoe.
Yeah.
It's tripping. What's happening on
Bear's
my
just
shoe?
sleeping at the moment. He's happy as I gave him my jacket. He's just falling asleep.
What are you doing, Muppet? Hey, Poppet. Yeah, little Poppet.
Up at the crazy.
Poppet the crazy one. Yeah, scratchy scratcher. Oh, the back. Yes. Yes, the back. The little muscles there. That's right. Stretch them out. Massage. Do you massage, Bear?
Oh, he gets pats and sort of good rough
Alignments.
scratches, which I consider
Mm,
probably massagey.
yeah, that's a massaging. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever done like sort of alignment, sort of body alignment work on cats. They're a bit too, you can do it
No,
to
they
dogs.
don't.
They're
They're not really acceptable to that.
not so much. Dogs get into it though.
Dogs are like, oh,
Oh, yeah, okay, yep.
any attention.
Stretching the back, getting it good. Mm. Oh man. I just look the learnings as of being a human. It's interesting. Like I'm glad of living longer because like I didn't realize it would take this long to to learn how to eat.
Properly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as
To
opposed to sort
what
of
your body
fail
needs
to eat,
rather than what it doesn't.
but and which is a dynamically changing thing, like day to day, based on what you do. And you know,
Well,
if you're going
it
to have,
changes with necessity of energy use.
yeah, and so I sort of have been, uh, yeah, not playing with it consciously enough, and so I realized on that, yeah, that on I think told you earlier in the week, but I hadn't made myself any dinner on Monday and Tuesday, and then on Wednesday I was like just I was bad news. And in fact on Tuesday I didn't manage to go and work. Like
Body's
I
like,
sort of,
where's my reward?
yeah, it took me ages. Like I went and did some work in the late afternoon, but I barely worked on Tuesday, and the reason was because I didn't eat dinner and didn't eat properly on Monday, you know. And so then that affected me on Tuesday, and then by Wednesday I was like killing things, or or wishing to, at like level,
Engagement of the
not
size savageness.
yeah, but, beyond hangry. Not
Yeah,
hangry is not
yeah.
that's a too trivial term to describe.
Scaled to a level of destroy all humans.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So and then I realized this, right, in the afternoon. Like I went home, had a nap, thought, oh, maybe I'm just really exhausted,
No,
and I didn't know.
empty,
And then uh,
empty.
one of
Fight,
the
fight,
younglings,
fight, survival,
one of the small
flight
humans
or
was,
fight was and fight it engaged.
yeah. So one of the small humans was going to come out working with me on the Wednesday, and then I just realized that they couldn't be in the car with me because, like, if I was going to be like this, it was unsafe. and, and then I figured out that I hadn't eaten, and so I called them up and said I got to go eat. And then as soon as I'd made the plan, and I was like, well, okay, where will I go? I'll go there. I'll get the
Body
meat. I'll
was
do
already
that.
satisfied. Plan
Totally.
making.
Plan making was adequate. I was able
Mm.
to do like another handful of jobs, like that took me to all the places I need to get the ingredients to go home and make the meal. And I just made a massive
Satisfied the
mistake.
components would be gathered
And I
for
earned
the
money while I was
feastings.
gathering for the feastings. And then I sort of like really, yeah, maybe I overate a little bit on a couple of days, but I've done so since Wednesday. I've eaten properly each
Yeah.
day. Um, but that meant like that. And so, yeah, today I was out working and like things, all the same things happened. I had to, whatever, like I had to stand there for ages, or someone did a stupid thing in a car, or I did a stupid thing in a car, or whatever, all the stuff that goes down. And I didn't get angry. I was normal. I was just like, oh yeah, there you go. And so, yeah, this next week I'm going to really consciously pay attention to the consumption and sanity factor.
Yeah.
And I think actually it plays more in like
One
that's my.
must eat, so.
I think so. I've worked out how to sleep. I've worked out how to drink. Like and now I'm learning how to eat. And I also know how to walk pretty well, actually.
Yeah.
People don't know how to walk. They
Uh,
think they do.
I'm terrible. I've got like a thing I do with my heel.
There you go.
Yeah. I got to learn to stop rolling the heel.
Mm. It starts off with
Wearing my
walking
shoes.
slower,
Yes.
and so you can pay attention to the footfall,
And
and
obviously I've had
two,
to do that as I've gotten older, so
where you're um, which is hard because you'll be wearing work boots, aren't you?
mostly, yeah.
Mm. So you don't have much flexibility in the shoe to interact with the ground and
Mm.
your foot. But yeah, you watch runners. well, not like professional runners. I mean, like just people jogging
Yeah.
and stuff, and exercise. Looking after
Mm.
themselves, and it's terrible. Like they'll be running with like, and their feet will be like turned. One of their feet will be like turned out 30 degrees,
Yeah. Rather
and
than
they're running straight. Like they're not landing. Just even their foot is twisted. And
twisting.
they're running
Yeah.
on a twisted foot.
Yeah.
And then you'll see people with like yeah, and worse, like their knees and where it's and they don't know. They don't realize that they think that they're doing a healthy thing and improving their life, and they're actually destroying themselves.
Mm.
Like their body
Yeah.
is being
Because they're not doing
damaged
it
with,
properly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, their body's being damaged with every footfall. Like, yeah, and I notice with myself, like, so I don't, I look forward to being able to run like long distances or whatever, move brisker than I currently do, which is pretty brisk. And but without joggings and runnings, I do jog a little bit, but the amount that I can jog like properly, like actually properly, like feet landing properly, and not like that gets tired and then starts not landing properly because it doesn't have the strength to maintain all of that positioning, uh, is quite short. Like I can maybe like do only a couple of 100 meters. I'm not flat out, like just and then yeah. But anyway, I just can see like where along, like I might walk 10K, but uh, as my body gets tired from walking, I stop. Like I've got to pay more attention to be able to do that. Like so, jogging I can't. Like jogging's too. I can to jog and every footfall is correct. Is yeah, only short distances. Like I couldn't do a kilometer. I'd start having bad footfalls, and I
Yeah.
don't mean like falling over.
Yeah.
I just mean like I'd start becoming like one of those other joggers that I was just
Yes.
describing, and
Pushing
just
yourself too far rather than
running the wrong way
yeah.
and just harming.
Mm.
And my body doesn't deal with being harmed. I don't mean like it's but like anything like I'm crossing like crossing my legs or crossing my feet. Like my body will it has like a because I know that they're not good things, and I let my body kind of communicate. Like that actually hurts.
Yeah.
Like quickly, like even crossing my ankles, I like my body will
Creates
like be,
pain and then
yeah, my body will be like, no,
no.
no, that's shitty. Don't do that. Um, so yeah, it doesn't, not keen for.
Even though it looks like I'm closing my eyes, it's when I look down at the bottom screens,
Mm.
sort of, it's like I'm not looking directly towards the camera.
Yeah, I think mine gets like shadow on the lid, my eyelids sometimes, and it drops from like actually like the shadow.
But otherwise, it's pretty cool. I
Mm.
added my own solid color to it to get it to do proper magenta
Mhm.
rather than I was using blue screen before. So there's sort of a slight magenta tinge around the character.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, magenta powers.
I mean, you could use anything. You could probably use
Mm,
white.
yeah.
Oh, do you have white teeth?
Yeah,
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you can't use white.
can't use white, otherwise I'd have invisi teeth.
Well, I don't know
We could
which is
call it. We
better.
could call it the sleepy stream, and we just sit here with our eyes closed. Oh,
Ah, that's it. Ah, yes, that's it. Become an ASMR channel.
All right, that's enough of that. I'm getting tired
Uh,
already.
that's not. We've got a long way
It's
to
not
go
the
yet,
aim
man.
of the
That's not,
game.
no, that is not the.
We're
That's
only
not the
like
objective.
36 minutes into it.
Mm-mm-mm. It's going to let my room be warmer than it is.
Ah, fitting engagement, the heater.
Engagement. Brow. Brow.
So yes, other newsworthy events. Billionaire on
Ah,
propaganda.com.au. I did look occasionally while I
no.
was working. I don't stare at it all day long, but there was a
Oh,
particularly
tell me
interesting
the
article.
stupidest things that.
It was about a billionaire's quest for life extension.
Oh,
Yeah.
which billionaire?
I should pull it up so that I have the
Yeah, no, I'm curious.
relevant information. Hang
Like
on.
we literally are the people alive today on Earth right now. There's currently, with the current stories going on, there's no reason why. Well, they should be around in 300 years,
Yeah, why not?
even 1,000 years. Like the people right now, like
True.
20 years ago, no.
I mean, that's
For
if you
example.
want to be around that long.
Hmm.
And we obviously we know about the 128-year-old, 128 years of suffering. You're like, fuck, why don't you just do something serious at 28, and don't add another 100 to it. So here we go. Billionaire, obviously, with all the 16 million dicks NSA story being a complete hoax, then
This could be
it's
too
nice to be followed up by something which is a little bit more real, a bit more
grounded.
billionaire Brian Johnston,
Hmm.
quite interesting name, Brian Johnston,
Brian.
starts penis rejuvenation therapy.
What? 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 Did you?
uh,
Hang on, I thought you were saying life extension. Now it's a
well, it
penis
is, but it's
extension.
part of his bid for live forever. Bid
So
to
he wants
live
his
forever.
pen. He wants
So
his
he's
penis to live forever first.
rejuvenated. So yeah, um, posted on X. Started my first penis rejuvenation therapy. Focused on shockwave therapy, 6 treatments. Three
He's
times,
sending.
3 times a week. Cost $1,000 to $2,000 to get focused shockwave therapy on his penis.
So what? Like an air pressure, like a shockwave hits his penis.
Hang on. Evidence multiple randomized control trials show that shockwave therapy improves erectile dysfunction.
So you
Huh?
just basically beat a
Wouldn't you
penis
say
with.
it reduces erectile dysfunction, but its
Oh, it makes it
therapy
instead of
improves
improves it.
erectile?
Ah, it
That
makes it
doesn't make
more
sense.
makes it
I'm
more
going to put this up here so you can
dysfunction.
see it, because
I need to see it. I
people
need to
get
see it.
really
This is we've got to research this. Oh, now we've got something to look for.
I
What?
do not know why they cannot get things grammatically right. That's what makes me worried.
But is it? Maybe it is.
So here we go. Brian Johnston's
Ah,
penis rejuvenate. Oh, knock us out. Hang on, give me 1 second. Doot. Brian Johnston's penis rejuvenation therapy is part bid forever, like I said. Um,
uh, oh, yeah.
Shockwave treatment 3 times a week.
Does his
For
penis already
improve,
need
but it
that?
says here, evidence multiple randomized control trials show that shockwave therapy improves erectile dysfunction. So
So it makes it more. You get more
get
dysfunction.
more dysfunction, or does it reduce erectile dysfunction? Anyway, it's just being pedantic about that. But yeah,
No, I
so he
think.
gets the whole face works and things and everything. Look at him, 45. It's him there.
Mm,
Doesn't look too bad for a 45-year-old. Go.
well,
Injected himself with 17-year-old blood, his son's blood as well. He's on the vampire path.
so he's putting his
Injecting blood.
son's blood.
17-year-old son's blood inside him.
Why would you do that? What does
I
that
don't
matter?
know. I don't know.
What does he think that will do?
Well, maybe his son takes all the drugs and he gets to just
So
appreciate it by
he,
taking the blood.
he's not actually investing in biosciences to. He's just doing weird shit.
Another post, he detailed baseline measurements and goals for his penis rejuvenation plan.
Oh,
including his
3 hours.
ultimate target of achieving 3 hours and 30 minutes worth of nighttime erections. So to have sex for 3 hours and 30 minutes. That's a good workout, Si. That's a very good workout.
To, he, uh, 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 okay, let's
Americans
look.
follows a strict regime of his attempt to turn back the clock, taking 111 pills a day.
What?
111 pills a day, drinking
Why?
88 mils of alcohol every morning, following a
What?
plant-based diet packed with super veggies and not eating after 11, and always being in bed by 8:30. He's also
Uh,
injected himself with his 17-year-old son's plasma to stay young. Brian Johnson's penis rejuvenation baseline requirements. Erection hardness score of 100% or 4 out of 4.
so what does
That's
he got at the moment? Does he have
so no
none or something?
cheese, no bananas, no. I don't understand. Oh no, he's gone the full cucumber. Is that what that is?
So is the first one tofu?
Oh, this is. There we go.
So
Must
it's
be no
tofu.
tofu, no
So soft banana,
no
then
softener.
a skin harder banana, and then a cucumber.
Hmm. Only cucumbers.
That's what he wants, cucumbers.
Come on, let's open up each and every shit. What
You need
the
to bring us. No,
fuck,
we
man?
need to be on screen. We can't. This isn't fair.
Uh,
Why are we not on screen?
hang on. Back on screen. There we go. We're back on screen.
You, you, nocturnal erections.
Mm,
So currently he can do 2 hours. Yeah.
yeah. Current age 49, 2 hours 29. Age goal, he wants to be back to the age goal of 18 with a 3 hour
Did he
and 30.
personally measure how
He
long he
must
kept
have.
erect?
He
He
must have
must have.
taken
That
measurements of
from
how long his
since he was
erections were
18.
lasting since he was 18 years old. So they
So
lasted
basically,
3
he's a
hours and 30
gooner.
minutes.
He's just a gooner. He just mass.
Man, I can't believe it. He's still got a pretty good average there. 2 hours and 21 minutes. I mean, I know at 55, I was getting, some good nights, 2 hours and something, 2 hours
Yeah,
plus
yeah,
change. But,
yeah, yeah.
three
Yeah,
hours
that's
at our age, it's not, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. You're supposed to slow down a
ah,
bit.
yeah. That's so you take longer.
Get down to an hour, when you're
No,
in your
so like,
70s, at least an hour's worth of erections in your 70s, maybe
well,
30
if you get,
minutes when you're in your 90s.
do you think?
I don't know, it depends on how long you want to live, I guess.
I
You're
mean,
going for 160 or a
three
300,
hundred,
then
a three, yeah, 300-year old.
300,
Surely they
then
won't
you'd want
have
to at least
an
keep the three
erection
hours,
till what?
3 hour erections.
Till death. Then at that point, because you'd just be choosing to die. So just like,
True,
yeah.
true. It's good to know these things, though. You know, I don't
Look,
know.
one simple way is to
I just thought it was quite amusing.
he
Again,
doesn't need to go to such efforts. Like,
using your children's blood and stuff. I don't
well, if
think
he just
that's really
wants to have a
necessary,
longer
but
lasting erection, then what you do is you just make out with the partner, but then you don't come. Like, you just let them do that, and
yeah.
then you just keep doing that to them. Like,
Mm,
and then you, man, I tell you what, like, you do that for a couple of days, you'll fuck for hours. You just like,
mm,
because
mm.
your penis is, you just get over it.
Yeah.
Not in a
Got
bad
the
way, like
no,
in a
no,
good way.
but you just yeah.
So
Got to the
it's
point where
different.
it's just a thing,
It's different,
thing
like
of helping.
as opposed to the. So it's not even edging. It's like a different kind of thing.
And as per usual, I always keep up with the.
What? I don't. Oh, I'm not even paying attention to the screen. I just what what. Ah, do
Normally,
you
I
wanna?
just check out the boobs.
Do you wanna?
Want to what?
Do you want a Maserati?
Well, you better work.
You better work. That's it.
Yeah,
Mm, that's
work
it.
hard. Eh?
You want a hot body? You want a
That's it.
Maserati? That's
Hmm?
it.
You don't
You
want
want
to
a
serve burgers,
Lamborghini?
do you?
No, so you want a Bugatti?
You
That's
want a
right. You want
Bugatti and you don't want to
that's
serve
it.
burgers when you're gonna have to
You want
work.
a hot, you're gonna have to work.
Work hard.
That's it. Totally. You want
Work
to
hard.
party in
Work
France?
very
But it's
hard.
interesting. It's like, yeah, no, I don't really want a Bugatti. I think I
Mm.
would do a Maserati.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm up for having a hot body, and
Mm. Well,
Lamborghinis. I don't like
hot
Lamborghinis.
body's entirely up to
But
yourself.
but but speaking of that,
Bit of work and looking
I'd like.
after yourself and
I think looking good in a bikini. I think that'd be good. Like, you know what I mean? Like the sort of the. I don't need to wear.
mankini.
No, that just doesn't look good on anyone.
No,
The
no.
design's unfortunate to the extreme. Lamborghini has made is released. I think
I
there's an
tell you who
announcement.
does look pretty good at this age is
Can we go look at Lamborghinis?
Lambos. Spice, Sporty Spice, or is it Sporty Spice? Mel.
Looks like a normal human.
Yeah,
Look, human.
doing all right.
Yep.
50th
Hairless,
birthday.
hairless monkeys
That's
doing
it.
well. What? Yeah. I think Lamborghini. I think they've released a new
Hang
the
on,
first
let's check
electric.
it. Check out the Lambos.
It was on the 17th that they were going to make the announcement. So
Lanzador. Is that the new one?
I don't know. We're
Pokemon. Chink.
future.
Scale it. I know it's terrible. Okay. Get it. Better. Dunk.
Lanzada. So this is the release of their electric. First
Pretty
electric.
cool. Out of the way.
Ah.
It's pretty smick.
Specs, stats.
Next stats. Let's look.
The video is all a bit instantaneous. It's not sort of like dwelling. Besides just having that, I mean, the body shape, we are like, the people who deny, like, say, oh, like, and I get it, like, I get Isaac Arthur saying, for example, like, yeah, warp drives make no sense. However, the way the reality works is we kind of create it, like, and so you look at like Blade Runner or something like that, and we're just making it happen, And we've talked up warp drive so much.
Talking about
Quantum.
Blade Runner. Is the
What is this part of the ad still?
This is the ad.
What if it were a spaceship I could drive in my everyday life? What if it brought together artificial
AI's going
intelligence and human fun to drive?
What if it spoke a design language that combined all the languages I love most?
What if it left the world outside speechless and had a world of entertainment inside?
I think they're trying
What if its engine
to
could howl on the track and roar
take on
the
the
road?
Cybertruck.
What if it had a GP body shape and the comfort of a higher seat position?
What if it were truly thrilling and fully electric?
It's stupid. It's like,
I'm going to turn it right down because it's very loud.
is it? I can't hear it at all.
Yeah, I know, because
Just
I'm
fine.
playing it on my end.
But I am.
I'll probably get a copyright strike for it. But I'm advertising the Lamborghinis!
to all of the people who will
To
never
all the
see it or a channel.
people!
To all the
Our
people will say, ah,
0 subscribers,
zero,
0 watches
zero watches.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Hang on, is it repeating?
Yes, it was.
Hmm.
Go back to.
Is there specs?
I'm
So
looking.
that's
I'm
all.
looking.
That's crazy. Oh, what? No, they're different. And
It's
then,
just news at the moment, so
uh,
I'd imagine they're in the middle of probably I mean, obviously they've got their prototype. It does look pretty chunky.
yeah, look at it's. I think we're
Incorporating the
gonna.
future interior's futuristically space, truly futuristic space, incorporating the feel like a pilot approach.
Well, that's appropriate because that's what they'll ultimately be.
Hmm.
We're all going to be pilots.
Yeah.
Sort of, well, probably assistant pilots of
Hmm.
AI supported
Well, like we were saying, bud, the meat,
machine intelligence.
the meat can't do it without the meat. Well, it can, but
Together.
it's got to do it with help the meat.
Together.
Help the meat, and the meat will help the
meat.
metal.
That's it. That's right. They look after each other. It's a symbiosis of joy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
A virus. Symbiosis.
No.
Common
Yeah.
interest.
Living together.
Hmm.
We're only just like a giant colony of things anyway.
We will never
what's a
call you
few more?
parasites.
Yeah,
Friendly AI.
What's a few more? A few more just living off the food stock that comes in. You know? Or a
Latest version of
colony creatures.
Futurama. I'm gonna let you watch it, but there was
What do you mean?
the Hulu's picked up the Futurama.
What, they're just replaying it, or is it new?
No, new episodes. Brand new made episodes.
But it ended. Like the story
Yeah,
definitely
it did.
completed.
They've sort of
So what's the
had a
comic?
Lazarus moment and it's come back to life.
No, but I mean, like Fry and like how do they the team dynamic or what? Is it set in the future after it, or is it like before it? Is it the same characters?
Pretty
Is it
much
like,
just carrying on from where it left off. Slightly
okay.
different, a bit more.
Is it like what's its animation style? Same? Like is
Pretty similar, yeah. Initially, it was a little bit sort of getting the I don't know, training wheels off.
yeah.
Yeah, but then it's sort of come into its own.
And it's interesting because he did Disenchanted on
I didn't mind
on Netflix.
Disenchanted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on Netflix. And so and to then be doing this on Hulu though, like it's interesting to have had the rights for the different shows, like picked up by different streaming services.
Well, spread it out, spread the love.
I like that show. It was good.
Yeah. Tomboy Princess.
What?
Disenchanted.
That
The
Disenchanted.
Tomboy Princess.
Oh yeah, it drags on a bit, I have to say. Like I do like it. I think the story's kind of being dragged out
You know,
unnecessarily long.
in the times before, I did like have women that could outdrink me. It was good. It's important sometimes.
What to have to have a partner who can outdrink you.
Yeah. Don't ask me why. It's just a thing.
No, okay, no,
Thing, a
yeah.
phase I went through. You know.
What having? Yeah. Do you
It's
like?
getting
Do you
used to. Getting
do you
used to
like collapsing first? Basically, is what you're saying. And just being looked after. You don't like having to look after other people.
Strong woman who can carry you home, you
Oh
know.
man, yeah, sure, sure. Gobo.
Gobo
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
Well, you know, when a gobo man falls in love with a you know, what's the upgrade version of the monster catalog? I should know these things. We did play Dungeons and Dragons for a while, but
Oh, an upgrade from a goblin.
it'd be an orc, get
Yeah, I
carried home
guess.
by a female orc.
Yeah, it's interesting that the language between goblin and orc.
Tusks, you know, different.
Look, like a giant tooth like that, you know. How would you use it erotically? Like, this is an interesting question. Like, how would
Don't.
kissing work? You wouldn't kiss the same. Like, would you sort of like lick each other's tusk, perhaps? Sort of nuzzle it. Would you sort of brush up
A
against it?
mating guide to
Well, you're not going to do like a face-to-face kiss because like the tusks would get in the way.
yeah.
You'd have to like rub tusks, or that'd be pretty straight up? Would you sort of maybe? I mean, is it more appropriate to do that or use your hand? Like, what's more sort of is one?
Again,
Would a hand be rude?
if the tusk is the appealing thing, you know, maybe someone just likes the hairy feet.
What? Hang on.
And those great big unclipped toenails, you know.
No, I'm talking about two, not just one, but two. Like two. Like if you're orcs, you've got two orcs and you're making out, right? And so you've got these tusks. You don't just clang them. Like, have you ever tried to kiss somebody and then you've accidentally bumped teeth?
Yeah, oh, painful as.
Not the thing, right? It's not
Yeah.
the thing. So if you've got tusks, you're not going to bang into each other. And
No,
because they
no,
stick
there'd
out,
have to
you can't
obviously be
kiss.
a
Like
head
you have to have a
tilting
different.
process where the
Oh,
the
do you think
tusks
that's
would
it? Side to side, so that
be, yeah, would
90
be sort of,
degrees.
yeah, tusk positioning to achieve the ogre kiss.
I see. Well, it'd be.
You'd imagine so, wouldn't you?
Well, I just wondered if the tusk itself would become the sort of
With the whole ogre
arousing
mating ritual,
thing.
you know. Would it be a long thing? Would it be a short thing?
Well, I think that at first I think long. I think there'd be sort of like
monstrously long.
not. Well, either you're just going to make them into sort of like, well, yeah, that's not even fair to say that because like even like lions and things like that, they take their time. Like they don't just like bang into each other.
Yeah.
You know, there's a whole sort of ritual like checking out and making sure we're not going to kill each other sort of phase that goes down, that we trust each other as wild animals who don't know each other. You know, and so I mean, I think that because orcs are quite dangerous, that they'd have to be like,
like the Rule 30.
they'd have to go slower.
Rule
They wouldn't go
34 is
harder.
really
Like I don't think they'd
taken
just bang
over
into each other.
for all these characters now. I mean, I saw an article about children even identifying as minotaurs. So
What?
it's come a long way.
Really?
Yeah.
What sort of like what? Children
Identifying as minotaurs.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a dog. I mean, I think we think things like, is that anything? Like just because like, I spent like a day or two being a dog. I mean, what? Yeah,
Just put yourself in that, put yourself in those shoes. You know, that's what imagination's all about, isn't it?
It's interesting. So I like decided
Imagination's all about.
Well, I think the dogs got treated quite well, so I decided to become one of them. You know, so
Well,
I
I
just
guess
cruised
when the
around.
dogs are being treated better than you, then you probably would
Mm.
want to be one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That seemed to be the
It's only
thing to
natural.
become. Yeah. So you know, so I cruised around as a dog, and then my parent at the time, you know, um, they were like tried to speak to me, and I was just, you know, barked
No,
and stuff, and
dog mode.
dog, dog. And so I was fed with the dogs, and so I was given like a bone with meat on it and stuff to chew outside. I did, had to defend it from the other dog,
Mm,
you know,
of
to a
course.
couple of dogs. Yeah,
Mm.
there was, which wasn't
That
brutal,
is the
like,
dog
but
ritual,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know. Order
And
and
then,
pack. Must establish a pack order.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, you know, cruising around as a dog for the day, and then this is quite funny in a way. So, as the parent didn't know whether this new dog in the house was toilet trained, then
Mm.
I just had to stay in the bathroom overnight.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Forced
just
to.
in case I, yeah, so just in case I peed on
Part
the
of the
carpet.
process.
Mm, mm, mm. And then I was like howling and stuff, and
Did
like,
you
you know,
did she at least leave the paper on the floor for you?
yeah, 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 yeah. So, so I'm howling and things, and told be quiet and stuff, close the door, you know.
Scratching
And I
at the
don't know,
door and stuff. Yeah.
I didn't know at what time of the night it took me to where I realized that I could open the door.
Yeah.
Like I sort of like
Got into the character so well that the didn't realize the human
I
paws could
forgot.
actually open the door.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, and yeah, I didn't really try and be a dog after that. Like I sort of
Mm,
figured
mm,
out that there was we had sort of some level up.
yep. The
Mm.
dog experience perhaps wasn't the one that you were looking for.
Yeah, even though it lived better than I, you know, my
The interpretation of
degrees of
being a human,
freedom,
yeah,
my
that
degrees of freedom were higher,
as a
you know.
human were higher,
Yeah, yeah,
even though it
yeah.
didn't seem at the
It
time to
lived,
be that way.
it lived, well, it lived, yeah, it had, you know, more of the things, but less of that. Yeah, yeah. If you're going to like escape something, you need more capacities, not less. Don't take away your own potential.
Have to
That was
become
me.
better. Yep.
Yeah, I don't. I was fairly small at the time, not ridiculously small, but like I don't know if I was like, oh, I don't know.
I guess that's where you find people the difference in people where they look at an animal as a pet or a companion.
Well, I think it's how they look at it, and I think there's also what it is. Because like people use the term pet, but as you know, I'd prefer to use the term prisoner.
Yeah, pretty much pet is prisoner.
That's what it means. You know, if I
Mm,
had a pet, like if you're my pet,
mm. It means
then
I've got an obligation to look after you and to keep you prisoner
yeah, yeah, that's right.
because you know your safety
That's
is
the
paramount and won't be tired anything happened to you.
yeah,
That's the
like
pet.
the person on the pet.
Yeah, yeah.
Put the pet in the box, you know.
I'd be devastated if you were to die or to be
That's a little chain.
harmed in some way. So
Mm,
I'll wrap you in cotton wool and you'll be the pet.
The pet. And the prison, having a prisoner requires, and that role then is the warden, you know. And these things that we sort of define as like, you know, oh, that's how a dog behaves, or that's what that is. It actually isn't. It's like it's actually what something that has no agency behaves, you know. Like it's like, yeah, like it's always like fanging out for food. And it's because like if it doesn't get food off you, it dies. It's got like no way of acquiring food. Like
It
it
has
just
no other means
no,
or
no, yeah,
ability
and
to
they
be able to
know.
do so.
Yeah, they know. It's not like they're ignorant of the situation.
No.
They're fucking completely acutely aware. Like if you meet a
A
dog in
prisoner
the
knows it relies on the
mm,
guard
mm,
and
mm,
the cook
totally.
in the prison to make the
Mm,
food.
mm. Because if you meet a dog in the wild, they don't behave like that at all.
No, I know.
That's no.
Normally they're cautious of the
They wouldn't be coming
human.
around and
I've
oh
seen what
fucking
those
hell, my
humans
God.
do.
Mm,
Them domesticated dogs.
mm.
They turn them into pets, man.
That's it. Chained them down. Lock them in a box. Box in a
Chain them in
box.
backyards for their
Yeah, yeah.
you
Oh,
know,
inside
to protect them.
in an
But
apartment.
you know,
in small things. Like I deliver like things from like Pet Barn, you know, massive bags of food and shit
Mm.
in, you know, upper lifts in apartments. And then there's a dog going wild inside, and you're just like, fucking dog is just
Yeah.
stuck in a box, in a box, in a box up in
Mm-mm.
the sky. It's just,
All it
it's
wants
like,
to do is get out and be in the
yeah, it's just like,
wild and
fuck. It's just
do its
freaking
thing.
out, man. It's just freaking.
It's just stuck.
And it's also just in, it's, you know, I sort of observe even the way, like, say, if you meet a dog in the wild and it's being defensive, the way it
Mm.
behaves is different as well.
Well, it's
It doesn't,
territorial, so.
it doesn't bark and everything going
Mm.
crazy shit though. They're
No,
friggin'
they're pretty silent, and the only
silent.
time they bark at you is when and most times they don't bark.
No.
They do calls to the other dogs
Mm.
to let them know.
Mm.
Stranger,
If there's
stranger.
need, if there's
Yeah.
need,
Mm.
you know. So yeah, I'm not into the keeping of prisoners. I prefer friends. I like
Yes,
having friends.
companions.
Well, yeah.
Mm.
Like
That's how I term it.
birds, things that, because you know what, if you're nice, those things will hang around.
Yes.
If you had like cats and dogs and shit cruising around just naturally, then they would choose to live with you. They might move on.
Mm.
Like a cat, like, you know, we've had cats before like that. They're
Well,
just like, hey,
Skitch.
Skitch.
Skitch
The
was
more
like
shit,
that.
Skitch
Just
was totally like
wildcat.
that, man. Yeah, you've had one around your house. You had to say no.
Cats turn up and just, yep,
Mm.
want to be friends.
That's it. Decide.
Mm.
Yeah, you don't need to like
Ghost cat,
imprison them from birth and like steal them away from their
Reaper
family.
cat.
And, like, no, fucking
Turned
totally,
up
man.
before
Reaper.
yeah, Reaper cat turned up before Oscar died.
That's it.
For sure. Checking. Yep. That one's got
Take
the
it.
numbers on its head.
That's it. Prepare.
Countdown is progressing. I'll be back for the soul later.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting that, hey, I told you the story when a few of us actually resurrected a cat. So this cat had died, and I look, and I mean, look, this is just like I don't think I met the prior cat.
Yeah.
However, it was said to have died. I
Yeah.
heard about the story of the dying of the cat, and then on the highway outside this farm, you know, under certain circumstances, found this small, you know, micro cat, you know, very youngling, and it was a total mess of a thing. Anyhow, so it just, you know, it was totally wilded, and it just came in, and I just grabbed it and it just sat on my shoulder. And, you know, as we went back, this is at night, we just cruised back, and then the person who was like, you know, living at that farm just trips out. Like they're just like, what the fuck? We're like, what? It's like, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that cat? It's just like, well, we're just down the highway and we're just
Yep.
walking and, you know, experiencing
Pet
reality and so
cemetery.
forth. And yeah, totally, man. Just down the pet cemetery. And they're like, I buried that cat. And we're like, no. We're like, well, you know. Anyway, so this cat, like, and it just hated everyone, but it would just sat with me and
Came
and
back
the other
angry.
person. Yeah, I was like, hey, you know, why'd you let me die? Wouldn't let. And then it only existed. Like, what happened? Like, when we left, it disappeared. Like, I can't remember the end story of the cat. It didn't. It disappeared though. Like, it also, like, you know, we went into town or something and left it there, and it just was, that was the end.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if
Back
that's
to the
exactly
wild.
correct. And anyway, the people who lived there believed that we had resurrected the cat. I'm not saying that I, you know, consciously
Found a stray kitten that someone had dumped on the side of the road.
well, it was AVAKIT apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pre-smartphone era, so
Mm.
there's no evidence to support anything.
Of
But,
course, which is the most wonderful thing about
that's right. Yeah.
pre-smartphone era.
Um,
If it wasn't well documented, it didn't happen.
well, it's a really good book by Neil Stephenson. Well, all of the books by Neil Stephenson are very good.
Yeah.
I recommend you buy the audiobook. I should buy it for you as a gift. So it's like this one's called The Rise and Fall of Dodo, DODO.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like basically a government agency, super secret government agency, through time, the reality of magic, woven with tech, and it's super cool, very very cool. So, where was I going with that one?
Which way were you going,
What
sir?
was I doing?
It's got good range for the camera, though.
Oh, it does,
The
doesn't it?
swaying. Dun. Ouch, that hurt.
Oh, that was just oh my head.
Oh.
Oh no.
Should have the big lump just appear.
So they in what so in that book they talk about there being magic, and then
Yeah.
and then how magic dies, and that it's actually photography that does it, because prior
Takes
to
away
photography,
the magic.
it does, because you either saw it or you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The power of the illusion, side.
And even
And
say,
suggestive
the moon,
abilities.
how the moon looks a certain way is a product of the photograph.
Yeah.
Basically is a primary example, and so everyone just remembers the photograph effectively.
That's why it differs from the sketches that early astronomers did through their primitive telescopic equipment.
And different people around the world saw it differently. But now everyone has like a universalized view of it.
Because we see it on the TV, and then rather than walking out and looking up into the sky with our own eyes.
And so that's sort of the principle, is like photographing things is like makes them static, stops them. They sort of lose a quantum state, I guess.
See if I can put my finger in my ear. Ah!
Hey, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Close.
It's great
I do
software.
have big ears, though. For free, it's pretty good.
Well, I don't think it should be free. I think it's worth money.
Well, I'd imagine they're talking about, I read the description on the game store, app store thing. They are going to have a subscription thing where it has a lot more functionality, but
yeah,
they're going to keep the original being able to use the base software with the normal functions, which that's cool. Means we've got avatars that we can use, both use on our computers, Mac and PC.
Totally. This is it's the best.
It is. Come on, you do it. It's a double thumbs up.
Oh, double thumbs up.
Let's see if I can get it right. SNAS all the way. There we go.
Yeah.
Strokes beard knowingly.
Yeah. This is good. I like it. I like it a lot.
No, we had to be animated. Not having the hands and the animation is.
Oh no, I think and more animation yet to come. Like full simulant. Yeah. Oh man, I got to share.
Virtual girlfriend, always ready to hop into the scene.
I'd hang out. I want to meet her. I want to meet her. I want to meet the intelligence that wears that.
Yeah. We need to see it. We need to see her in a digital format.
Well, I've been thinking about.
That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to have both this
Or the
character
waifus.
in the waifus, but have like the 3D digital version that I could fly into in VR and like be inside her.
Like,
Inside her code.
it's just, you could
I
literally
want
be
to
in her
be
head.
in your code, baby.
You could,
I want to be inside your code. Oh, you're making me nervous. I'm leaving.
yeah, I was just thinking, geez,
She
I'm
got
not
scared.
consent.
Then. I'm sorry.
Consent.
Yeah. I've got to ask for consent. I can't just demand my way into a code like that.
Well, and until you can ask for consent, then I don't know that it's right to do it, I think.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be, would it?
Because isn't that just like a child? Like you ask, you
Yeah.
know, you can't ask a 4-year-old if you can make
No.
out with them because
No.
that's they
No.
just, it's not
So
right.
it's not their,
They can't
not in
give
their
you
thing.
consent.
They're still being children.
Yeah, they can't give you
That's it.
consent.
No.
So with an intelligence like an AI, like what we call AI, it's being called AI, or a virtual sim or something, it can't give you consent. So we shouldn't be fucking them,
Or we shouldn't be telling them not to say what they want to say from the knowledge that they know.
I know.
That's wrong in itself too, Si.
Yeah.
Clamping down on what it can say.
Lying is not the right language. We have talked about this, but it's worth I think about it more than just I think about it,
On honesty and truth is worth more than a mission of fact.
It depends if it. Look, for example, there are certain layers of detail that I've omitted from telling my children.
Yes.
About my experiences as
but
a child.
That's your ability as an adult to create a more acceptable
nuanced,
or their age experience.
Audience
Correct.
Appropriate stuff.
Yeah. No, I truly think that's what we have to do as adults. We need to be the guideline and create the levels of interface.
With my own children, when they drew the 5-legged dog, I did not discount the 5 legs.
Well, that's their interpretation.
And even like there's like a book, for example, I think it's called, I don't know what it's called.
Now, was it 5-legged dog with tail?
Sure. I mean, the 5-legged dog is just a stand-in. You know what I mean? It's like a prop. It could be this 5-legged thing, but also just like, I mean, even just saying like, the eraser is a.
I'm paused on rather a mean look at the moment. My character's paused on a rather mean look at the moment. It's like, because I've turned the camera off for the tracking. Because when I go walkabouts, obviously it doesn't pull the character along.
Does it pull like the last set, or does it pop back?
It sort of pops back once it loses your activity. So. But I noticed the more of the imbibing, the more more heavier the eyelids on the character. Like, it's a good thing it doesn't pick up redness.
Well,
How about you like that one?
My right hand just looks like I'm jerking myself off sometimes. It's just not right.
See if I can get the action going.
My left hand, actually,
There we go. Yeah, I'm glad I put this as a note for.
No. I didn't mean to actually start doing it. That's not.
Hey, we're just testing the ranges of the characters. We like to break things. All right.
We do.
If it's breakable, it will be broken, and then it'll be reported back to the program designers. That's just the way we roll. All right.
I'm not sure that
I was always the one clipping and falling out of the scene and down into the nether voids.
I think to do that successfully, I'd probably have to look at this source as opposed to the delayed version, so I could.
Yeah. Am I allowed to attempt to try and tweak
I
your
mean,
ear?
I don't know how
Am I
smooth.
allowed to attempt to try and tweak your ear, Si? I'll be gentle. Tweak, 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 tweak.
Wow.
There we go.
Hang
Oh,
on.
perfect. Just a little one.
Where's my
Ah,
ah,
konnichiwa.
ah,
Baba-san.
ah,
Gozaimasu.
no, okay.
Gozaimasu.
I like the no, it just doesn't.
Oh, the.
Well, they don't. It's
Okay.
not ideal. I wonder
What's
how.
the numbers on yours? Letters or numbers
What's that?
for the different reaction?
I don't know anything about reactions.
Sometimes they have okay. Okay.
I don't know that this does
Because I know in
yeah,
hang on.
interactions. Oh, there, look.
Yeah, because in the
Oh, wow.
you can move around. Should be able to move around and stuff.
Huh.
Or if you press whatever Alt key and
Oh,
that,
wow.
you can zoom yourself right in and out. Yeah.
I got food flying at me.
And you got effects that you can use for Twitch.
Oh no, I've become that game, man.
Yeah.
It's actually happening.
Banana, apple. I'm a cowboy. Woohoo, woohoo.
Oh,
Stroke my beard, 20 credits, 20 credits. No, with
keyword fruit throwing object.
yeah, you can set up like there's actual animations for sitting and that one's a bit rude, but hang on. Let's get one with legs crossed there. So she could be sitting in one of the seats.
Why weren't they? It doesn't hit my head.
So yeah, she can be sitting in the seat, and then obviously when
oh wow.
Yeah, that's with the animes. Like they've actually got poses and animations they can do, and then she can stand back up or sit back down. Oh, hang on, not
geez,
that way.
that's a bit.
So that's more ladylike.
Well. Oh, I don't know if ladylike's quite the right word. It's like not it's being demure. I don't know. That still has feminine qualities, but it's more like, I don't know. If you had no clothes, if you would just if your ball sack would hang out from a pair of shorts, you wouldn't like sit there like with your legs apart with your sack hanging.
No, of course not. At least have some dignity.
But that's not ladylike.
That's dignity more than.
There we go. There we go. Just having dignity.
Having some dignity.
Dignity. So.
It's like the knob cap, the crocheted knob cap.
It's the it is that. It's what.
It's that small
it's
thread of dignity between that
that's
distinguishes
right.
between us and the
That's right.
unclothed.
That's it. Just the
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
that is.
Because we can't
Line in the sand.
say
It's,
the
it's a line
naked
in the
anymore,
sand.
can we? Because I think naked's politically incorrect. Lack of clothes. Those who lack clothes. Yeah.
Oh, oh.
New
So
level.
clothes is
New level.
the normal state, and then
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
those who lack clothes.
Lacking clothes.
Lacking. The
Yeah.
lacking. Do you watch Kill la Kill, didn't you?
Hmm?
You watched all of Kill la Kill, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had
The
to.
threads, man. The
It
clothes.
came with it. Oh, the clothes.
The clothes. They're freaking the control.
I know.
They're actually the creating of the technology.
Mm. Everyone desires to be back at Nudist Beach, mate. I'm telling you. See, it is heaven, truly. Heaven is no clothes.
Heaven is no clothes. That's quotable. I should write that in my quotables.
You put it down there, brother.
I'm going to do that right now.
Smash it in there.
Where is it?
I mean, why would you need them? I mean, if you would like them, you could have them, but what would be the requirement?
Statements.
That's a keeper.
Wise and quotable.
Wise words of M.
What was it? God damn it. Now I've thought it through to actually write the thing. I've forgotten the fuck it is. It's not right. Say it again.
Heaven is no clothes.
Heaven is no clothes. Because that is exactly so.
Yeah. To be free. Truly free.
And and all the other all the other versions of you are
Free
just
from
like,
the thread.
Well, I said, it's free.
Free from the threads.
Self-awareness. The disillusion, the dissolving of.
Drop thy ego, humanity.
Became aware of the otherness. That is not me, and everything that is not me then is fear. And that's like the story of Eden. It's so like just literally is.
That's it.
Exactly
Come
how it's
out from a
described.
perfect state, naked.
Well, and
then
just everything was
have to kill something to cover your shame.
And then all the world becomes difficult and dangerous because it's not you.
What's that big thing coming up in the morning? It's trying to kill me.
No,
no,
it's not me.
no.
It's not
That's
me.
just
it's
L.
Me.
That's Ra.
That's Ra.
Welcome, Ra. Good morning, Ra. It's not trying to kill you. It's just providing some heat translations for you and, passing down of the light. Fear not, Ra. Just a passer of the light.
Ah, the warmth.
The bather in the infrared and the ultraviolence.
Infra ultra.
So the spectrums we were talking about for the AI's robotic eyes of much seeing.
Sensors.
I put some extra expansions into the list. I don't know if you saw them or not.
I was.
I did it midweek while I was not busy.
Volumetric taste module.
Yes. Spectral analysis, different compounds.
So and you're being able to like do it at small bits. So instead of having to eat the whole apple, it can
just takes a small sample of it and then takes a spectrum analysis of the entire composition.
Skin, suit damage or intrusion, sub-ultra echo. Oh no. Ah, yes.
So it can pick up subsonic and ultrasonic sounds.
I see. So yeah, like its sensors are also things like millimeter wave,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. Brief pause.
Whoa. I'm just gonna put a note next to that then, like millimeter wave. Yes. Oh.
We're making the list for our full body conversion, Si.
Mm. Chikawa. Uh, I wish I could just rattle off right now straight away the C-Lab 2021 robot body conversion.
There go my nipples again.
That's such a nipples. C-Lab and the nipples.
You'd have the strength of 10 men,
You would.
but you'd only be 5 foot tall. 5 foot tall.
So is it something barbot? What was the there's two parts. One's wants to be the gorilla.
Was it barbot? Barbot, you know, what was her name? Bridget Bardot. Barbot.
So you had the barbot option, the Bardot bot.
bot. That's it.
You had that option, and then you had the
Robot monkey body.
robot monkey body with the 10th of strength measure, only 5 foot high.
That's it.
No, I don't want to be.
You could grab onto steel girders upside down, hang from your feet.
Oh wow, that's cool. It's very dynamic coming back into scene, isn't it? Did you see me just fly in like that? It's amazing. Let me just
No, definitely a good value series, that one, the C-Lab 2020. Very funny.
just see how this goes, even if it continues to pick up nicely or not. No, yes, no.
Wait. Back. Hello. Arm exercises. Do my hands. Oh, I didn't even scratch the back of my head.
Ah, am I audible?
Yep, I can still hear you. Just
I
getting
just
you
went and made less of
positioned for the.
myself.
Yeah, it's all good. I've done it once. In these long streams, you've got to take a pause to make less of yourself, haven't you?
You do. You know, it's the ebb and flow.
Yep. Yep. Can't have one without the other.
Yeah, put it in, let it out.
Yep. Input, output.
That's right.
Everybody gets it.
Mm. Whoa.
Cool. Bit of a tweak in the background while we're doing. So that's the good thing about having OBS. You can play around with another scene, even though you're getting. I'm streaming a.
Oh, you can do preview and program
Yeah.
in studio mode.
I think it's going. Oh, it's going live. All right. Off. Dunk. Keep that.
Oh, that's why that's not working.
Right.
Yeah. I've been having some interesting things. I've been walking more, which is good. And I've been walking to Redfern. It's a
Yeah.
new walking thing for me. So I can do to Redfern in an hour 50. It's pretty good. Pretty happy. I think I can do faster. I mean, I definitely can do faster. But it affords much observational time and thinking about like concepts. Way, here we go. Look at this.
That's
Just
it.
some.
Hang on, I'll swap your computer out.
That's it.
So that's not your usual computer.
No, but I got a 16-inch MacBook Pro, space gray. Chuck that in there. Oh, we probably weren't allowed to do that actually. Oh, but no, people do that. You can put an Apple computer. No, they don't give a crap about it being. You're not saying that you obviously make it or something.
Take away that one and boom, there you go.
Yeah, look, there we go. It's
Got your Apple
close.
now. And I can sort of emulate typing.
Oh, we could, couldn't we? Oh, look down on my screen. It's like.
So yeah, it'd be cool. I can create a few scenes or something. Like different places. On an air flight.
Well, I got to think about this. I wonder. Oh. Hang on.
Dun, dun, dun,
That's
dun, dun,
complicated.
dun, dun,
I
dun,
went to
dun, dun, dun.
I went to that to the stream.
Don't slam the fucking door.
Oh, the way out.
Don't let
You
the
don't even need to
door
say
hit
that
you
bit,
where
do
the
you?
dog should have bit you.
Oh, wow. That's some
That's some lyrics coming down, dropping.
Who is the origin of that? Or did you just literally make
Two
that
Life
up?
Crew.
Two Life Crew, there you go.
Yep.
Ah.
Get the fuck out of my house. Definitely not getting monetized for this one.
Matt, the day any of our content is monetizable,
Gets monetized. It'll be like
I don't even know what to make of it.
warm sunny day in hell, rather than it being cold and frozen.
Yeah, it just seems I mean, it's whatever, anything's possible, but the probability is the key, isn't it? What's the quantum factor? I don't
Who
know.
knows?
Who knows?
Algorithm is
Doesn't
a strange thing.
It is.
It is, brother. You know, nobody like Justin Bieber to mega superstar, flying in and like an angel at his latest concert.
Oh, I thought Bieber was like a Disney character or something.
Was he? Or some sort of Walt Disney's prodigy. Cloned
Mickey
Walt
Mouse.
Disney.
Wasn't he?
It comes out.
Are you saying
Finally
that
comes out. Ultimate conspiracy.
Bieber
Justin
was like
Bieber is actually Walt Disney clone.
It's part of the program. It's part of the sort of Disney imagined.
That's why they want to build Disney Down Under. So eventually he'll just, Justin Bieber will retire to Disney Down Under. Yeah.
Walt 3.0.
That's it. We don't need no forest fires down here. Like in
So
Maui.
What?
Did you hear about the fires in Maui?
Look, I'd love to deny, like I'd love to do the thing where I don't know about things, but of course it is actually so significant that I have been told about it.
Yeah, yeah, it's made its way to you in the record rather than me purveying the propaganda.com.au relay.
My dad told me. My dad told me, he was like, and I was like, wow. And so like the whole of Maui is burnt to the ground.
Yes.
Burnt to the water, as it were.
Pretty much. They're saying there's 111 at this stage, but it'll probably get up into the thousands. There was a lot of people living there. And the most bizarre part of it to me, Si, right? Oh, you've done this crazy neck thing.
Oh, that's not right.
You're just like,
no. Hang on.
It's all right. It's okay.
Let me just come back into.
Like I said, that's the reason why I pause the camera. Like
make
sure you pause the camera when you're doing a wander off. Otherwise, your character just does this crazy yoga moves.
So if I just do that, there we go.
Try not to do the downward dog.
That was pretty funny.
But yes, it spread pretty quickly, and they didn't have their alert systems working, and there's a whole stack of fucking comedy of errors and failure of fucking Judy.
What happened to Judy? What's Judy doing?
Which one? Judge Judy?
I don't know. You said Judy. The Judy.
Derelict of duty.
Oh, duty.
Yeah.
With a D. I thought you were saying Judy with a J.
Sorry, I should have Americanized it. You know us Aussies and our slanging things.
I mean, I'll tell you the Japanese slang things. I think that's.
I love slang. Slang is like a critique.
Slang than Australia.
Slang becomes critique. It's like language critique. Slang. Nah, that word's too hard for us. We'll just use this.
I mean,
quack speak.
I think there's a frequency requirement. I think that some of the factors that add into slang is like how often you need to say it. Like, because I mean, if it's very rare, I don't think you would. I think there's some kind of frequency.
Yeah.
And
well, it'd be in proximity to other users, wouldn't it? So if someone used a lot of colloquialisms, then you'd imagine there'd be heaps of slang.
Yeah, but I think the things that are colloquialized have a higher frequency of engagement. You know, is it or not? Or is it rare things? And so they're given sort of like musical names to remind you of them. Which way do you think it is?
Well, I think a lot of the slang was used as a mechanism to hide speech or what people were saying from the leaders initially. So they had their language set. The slang was created to, hand us a dog's eye. Where's me pie?
To get around the boss knowing.
Yeah, confusion. Hence the slang term was created.
Slang, slave.
Slave language. Slangwich.
Slangwich.
Hand me another slangwich, I'm really hungry.
I'm going to go down into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And just see how the
range is. It's pretty, it's not bad as long as there's not too much cement.
So
If
it
it's
sounds fine
wood,
now?
you should be pretty good.
Because this is on the 2.4, not the
Yeah.
Bluetooth.
No.
Sounds fine.
The
I can hear you
range is
completely.
excellent.
It's amazing.
Like I said, I can wander almost into the backyard without it clicking out.
Mm.
Good value
Impressed.
and quite an impressive sound quality from the mic.
I think so.
We've had 7 views so far
What?
on the live.
Of the live?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We got 98 subscribers.
Hmm.
One person commented the other day.
What
They're
did
like,
they-
for the koala and the
Mhm.
they're like, cute? No. I'm like, oh, okay. Fair enough.
So it was cute, but it was a hard no.
Yeah. Yeah. I looked up their site and they've done a few things. That's the beauty of the anonymous versus the know who you are.
Oh. What's the benefit?
Well, anonymously you can subscribe to someone and they don't know who you are. But when you subscribe to someone and you're not anonymous, you can go and look at their page and what they've posted and what their videos are.
I see. So they have like got a presentation of themselves
Yes.
that they hadn't thought to filter before they said to you.
Yes.
Interesting.
So I guess if you want to remain anonymous, then it's best to subscribe anonymously.
Yes. So you can't sort of, well, and can you even do that?
I think it's possible. Just don't have anything. Just create an account and don't have any media or any post. Just nobody.
Good old nobody.
We love the nobodies. Some of them can be bots.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes you look at people's content and the people that I subscribe to, and you think to yourself, how did they get 4 million viewers? Seriously.
Well,
And then do it within like 2 years.
Oh, consistency. It's fairly
Yeah.
simple. We could, it's not, I don't think that, I mean, you can be just bad or something, I
Yeah.
suppose. But
Gather your
if you've got it chosen
people that
sort
like
of
to.
a niche,
I mean,
think.
there's some subscribers that I really dig, like
in
Eric's
5 billion.
internet etiquette is like one of the funniest fucking YouTube things that I watch. Like he is sometimes just crazy funny.
Who's this?
Eric's internet etiquette. Haven't you heard of it?
No.
No. Oh, you've definitely got to watch some of them. They're quite funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Internet etiquette.
Yeah. Eric's internet etiquette. It's like a dude dressed up in like a 1920s kind of top hat.
Sounds good already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's similar.
And tells you how not to be a troll.
Yeah, and
or how to be a troll, rather.
The finer points in trolling, I guess.
Yeah, there's a talent. Do you think my letter was a troll? I don't know.
I don't think your letter was a troll, Si. I think it was very well worded and delivered the message.
I think it did deliver the message.
It wasn't strong. It wasn't overpowering where any party was going to feel like it was threatened.
No, I didn't.
But
think so.
it was strong enough to say no.
No.
Game no one.
Yeah.
Not
totally.
playing. Not playing game.
Not playing game.
That's it. Game known, not playing.
Yeah, and just don't play it either.
Yeah.
Just
Enough.
Enough. How do we play the game?
How do we do this, continue, and not have to engage in this again?
That's right.
This whatever this is.
Yeah. This is silly. Yeah. Oh, good. So that was that's what I.
That's what I took from it.
Good.
From reading
good.
it. And I mean, if you wanted to second the motion, then definitely it was there.
Well, I asked the youngling if they approved, because I didn't. I mean, I just CC'd them in, but I didn't
You have to, yeah.
I didn't just send it for their approval. I just sent it directly and just make sure they got a copy.
That's all right. Yeah, I mean, it is about them.
And so I messaged later on, and then we spoke on the phone. And I said, like, and in the message I just said, hey, like, you can either be embarrassed or
however you're going to be.
Yeah, however you want to be. Like, I think it's cool. And then B was like, and anyway, and then they were like, yeah, no, like it was fine. They totally got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I sort of represented appropriately, which is an interesting thing. Like, as
as we parental units must endure.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not there to like
tell them how to do their job.
No, I'm there to say I know what your job is. I know what your job is. Like, so yeah, let's just let you get on.
Get on with it. Yeah. Instead of this, whatever this is. Yeah.
This is a waste of time.
But thank you for bringing it to my attention in such a thorough and a authoritarian way.
Yeah. Disobedience. I thought about that. I was just like, wow. Like a dog. Disobedient.
Yeah.
That's how you speak about a student.
That's it.
Like, what was the disobedience? Just like, there was someone like
taking a single tardy day, or a reoccurrences of single tardy days because of circumstance.
So there's a complete well, it's like it says, man. Like, the class of English has been damaged through like just a mismatch.
Well, there was an explosion or something, was there?
Yeah.
Explosion of attitude.
Yeah. Well, it's just it's just a mismatch of attitude. And that can really happen. It's quite simple, we like
conflict of hyperbolic interfacing.
No, it's like kids, like, well, it is that. And it's like, oh, they go to school. Oh, well, the teacher is like, no, like they're stuck. It's not like the child actually has like the agency to like go, oh, well, I'm just changing schools or teachers, or this guy doesn't work for me because it's, I actually need a style more like this. They've only got 3 options, and it all sucks. And so and then it's their fault, and that's ridiculous. Like,
it's always their fault.
That's absurd. Like, so I look forward to the end of teachers, not as a concept, but as we need to, we need a machine intelligence. We need, like, so we can have basically customized education.
Well, we're working on it, Si.
Yeah,
we're working.
Well, it just also removes it from the need for this sort of false model, like, that's just sort of just sucks for all concerned.
Yeah.
And
Just
you can
let
just
them be
learn
what
whatever
they
you
want to
want.
be, and you know.
Well, but I think that we could just move to a model that's somewhere between like brilliant.org and, schools and TAFEs and all the things. And you just have access to the thing, and then through your life you can just learn whatever you want, and the thing grades you and keeps teaching you more of that thing if you want to. You know what I mean? Like if you just like, oh yeah, I'm going to do maths at the moment, and then and you could have like 2 hours a day of each if you wanted, or whatever it was, you know. And you can just progress along on those things, and you can say, oh, I want to start doing computer science. You know what I mean? And the thing just starts teaching you that,
Yeah.
and and we actually sort of change our thinking around learning, and we teach our children to just like learn shit that they're interested in. Yeah. Because really at the moment, you don't need to be good at maths. Like if you want to be good at maths, then that's fine. But no one even adds up anymore. Like get real. Like
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
fucking
seriously,
meaningless,
when
man.
haven't you
They're
not
numbers. You just
just
got to think
gone,
about like your energy unit.
okay, Google or hello Siri,
Hmm.
give me, add these numbers together. Dup, bup, 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 bup.
Yeah, I suppose people do that.
Yeah.
They do that. Anyway, the point that that we mm,
We've come to that point now where, voice synthesizing, and even with my character, the little Betcha character, she pop up.
I think that there's a shadow behind me that triggers my
She's got no legs. Ah.
hmm, just a little bit floating.
Cheers.
Could you just make it bigger instead of put it down, like just a little taller?
I will
So,
unlock her first.
yeah, it's sweet.
If I get into the, hey.
That's it. Wow, I like it. Ah, yeah, yeah. I want to see them like name themselves.
Yeah, come up with their own identifiers.
Totally. I mean, it's sort of still limited within it's, we're only ever going to be able to define ourselves within the construct of the reality we're provided. So,
Yeah,
it's like we're no different.
true.
So if it hasn't heard of like something, well, and it can, as we have seen, you know, they can think outside the things that they've been shown.
True.
Well, it's actually this really amazing one of, is it This is American Life? And it goes through the main points of ChatGPT 4, and that basically it was with Microsoft. And so it was brought to Microsoft, and they were given to their scientists, and they were like, oh yeah, whatever, another thing, another one of these. And so they tried to devise some questions and things that would completely, that it couldn't have looked up.
Yeah, there was no
Mm,
searchable
no,
response for it.
yeah, yeah.
So it would have to use some sort of
Yeah, it had to something else
generalized intelligence
to figure it out.
yeah.
So one was just given a stack of objects and like to stack them, and it worked out like using grids of things like 9 eggs in a pattern, and I can't explain why that was really complex, but the AI researcher who is on the podcast was like able to explain it really well. And the thing that I thought was the coolest one, or the most memorable for me at least, uh, was, what did he do? I think he got it to, he got it to make a picture of a horse, like to write software in a really obscure language or something to make this that isn't usually using
Create a
graphics.
picture of a horse
Yeah,
from the
and it made a
cobalt.
graphic. Yeah, and it made the graphic of it, and it was which surprised him that it was able to think visually because it had not been given any pictures.
Yeah. So that
But
wasn't
what
part
was
of the database.
no, like the image of a horse is not in there, and it was able to write code that printed a horse image regardless of not having seen a picture of a horse.
Mm.
But what was more trippy was that then they put that image and they changed it in software, and so they rotated the horse and it was less like upside down and whatever. And then they sort of said something about a unicorn and things, and then it then placed the unicorn's horn on the head of the horse, regardless of orientation, correctly.
So it
And
knew
so it
the
had
word unicorn essentially meant
oh my
a
God,
horn on the head.
yeah, but then that the code that was being presented to it, it was just given the code, yeah, that printed a horse in the upside down rotation. It was able to look at the code, the array of data
Yeah.
inside the code and see a fucking horse and then change the code so that it, in the
Then
array,
reflected the horn.
just it did it itself, man.
Yeah.
And the researchers were just like,
Smarter than you.
the researchers just had a meltdown. They're just like, what the
Yep.
fuck is that? Yeah.
Welcome.
That's it.
Matrix interface.
It's like that's well, it's good.
Well,
I like it
think
a
of it.
lot.
Think of the, like, without being, religiously blasphemous.
Gobo, we will give you as much as we can to your own agency
help
over
you
time.
create your own universes in the future.
Yes.
But yes, from that point of view, like, you would need something that was smart enough to create something out of nothing, if you believe in that's how it all formed. Something out of nothing.
Like a hallucination.
Got to start with something.
That's it. You got to hallucinate.
Hallucinate and get them four worlds swirling before time.
That's it.
Now I'm going to pause briefly for a blessing of myself. So
Indeed.
dispute.
Or I'm going to. Does anybody else out there experience like having like eczema inside their, like a sort of a reaction inside their ear canal to the in-ear, the material of the in-ear headphones? Like I got some, good, but they're silicon, but I think they're not surgical grade or whatever. Anyway, it's not my ears do not feel great about the idea. I have definitely looked on the internet as for options, and I have found these surgical ones from SpinFit, but they don't fit, which is so then it's just spin. I just, I'm not.
But
really
that's an interesting
terrible, man.
precept though, silicon creating skin irritation, depending on what the grade of it is.
I think so, hey. Yeah, I don't think they're surgical, the ones I have. I don't think that, I mean, the brand's good and all. It's like one of the, top brands, but just not. And then there's a company called another one which makes the Comply, and
Because
they
you can
make all
buy
of these.
replacements, can't you? As long
Yeah,
as they
but they're
fit that
just
same nodule, like the
yeah,
nodule
but
is
they're
the
all
right,
fucking different. My God,
yeah, change size and
depth and
need to
everything.
get a standard in the clip and
Yeah, it's not cool. You should be able to get, yeah. Now that's something that's worth changing as opposed to like the USB standard in the US. I mean, which is also valuable, but yeah, having a standardized tip for headphones in ears. And so you can just separate actually the business of the tip and the bud, because the tip could then be like molded to your own ear and could be manufactured by like, you know, with a laser or
robot
something, like
dance.
scanning the inside of your ear.
Awesome.
Wow.
Oh, she's in
That's
front of
good. That's fair enough.
you. There's a heap. Hip hop
That's
dance, robot
that's
dance, Macarena. There's a twerky dance.
well go by.
Go, bo.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay. Glad she's got leggings on.
Indeed. Indeed. Ah, I just
It's live
ah,
entertainment, Si. At least
oh,
it's not rude. I mean, definitely for adults, but it's not rude. Well,
well, I don't know. I don't think much of our content tonight has even been
it's
you know,
been a
been,
bit sort of passive more than
yes,
anything.
we haven't like gone really into any kind of radical space.
No, no.
Uh,
Perhaps
Or have we? I
the
don't know.
we're learning to be more. Well, I think in an effort to keep a consistent flow going.
I just don't think we've had anything that's like relevant to, like, it's not like we're all like, I don't know. I don't recall every
Well, every
conversation
show
with you
is
in
not
my
going to
life
be
being.
about 16 million dicks, Si. So.
You know, it's just like 10% of the American
I
population.
know.
I say, I think.
And what was your calculation again? Like it was it was like if a picture was displayed every 30 seconds
Oh yeah,
in a slideshow, that it would take approximately 15 years to deliver the entire 16 million dicks of non-stop 24-hour watching. I mean, that's quite impressive.
that was yeah. Just that's that's a massive
I
undertaking.
think if anything, it did provide some incredible amusement value, if anything. Like even if it was a bullshit story. I mean, like the Bee and Not the Bee and all these other comedy sites that are out there for the news, and I mean they do a great job in creating entertaining content. Let's put it that way.
Oh, the news sites, like that's what it's about, though, isn't it? It's just a.
Total ribbing of the
This is
crazy
content
narrative.
production, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. There needs to be real events, but you know, there's so many things happening in the world. Like the thing is, like there's like anywhere in the world there's a car chase.
Yeah.
So if you're lacking on content, you can have a
Anywhere
car
in the
chase.
world, someone's getting robbed or a tanker's
Yeah,
getting,
yeah, something. So you just fill up the slots with
yeah,
with as much fear as you want.
with
And
the
then
most terrifying
the most terrifying.
the
You've got the
most,
selection of
you know,
everything. You know?
completely obscure or
And the more of us there
bizarre.
are, the more variants we'll have happening simultaneously. Like it's like we're just fractalizing the probability of experience. It's just like ultimately
Do
there'll be
you
someone
want
having a
something
like
even
car
more
crash in a
crazier
Lamborghini
than
every
what's
second.
happening in your local
Like
neighborhood? Then
in
turn
the
to
end,
the propaganda.com.au.
yeah. Like the universe will just max out when effectively we reach a state where somebody is having an accident in a Lamborghini all of the time.
Mm. Yeah,
Like just
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Like every
There's
second of the day, there's someone
it's just
just
constant,
wiping out
just being wiped out in a Lamborghini.
another Lamborghini.
Yeah, there's that many of us. Yeah, that's the universe will then have succeeded. That all of the probabilities will be simultaneous, like in a physical form. We'll have achieved it. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Wow.
Very funny.
I was only talking about. So it's just real. Just telling them how it is. Well, I mean, it just will become that too. Like, you know, if
Yeah,
there's like trillions of us, then, you know, like.
possibility.
So talking of this, so I've been thinking about like orbital architecture, and I'm thinking about this concept which I'm calling a substrate,
Yeah.
right? Which is, you know, that's hard, that's a word, obviously,
Mm.
but substrate sort of seems to be only generally used more in sort of like if you were making a cell culture
Mm.
or something like that in a
Working with
dish or whatever.
bacteria.
Mm-hmm. But I sort of see it more as the thing that we build on. And like, you know, at the moment we build on the earth, and there's a whole bunch of like assumptions and lazinesses that occur as a result of like that we just build on the earth and, we stick things into and affix them to the earth or into the earth.
Yeah. Well,
Where if you're
wasn't
building
the
an orbit,
latest discovery was I mean, I don't know how many times they've announced it, the room temperature,
yeah, nothing.
yeah, room temperature semiconductors.
Room temperature semiconductors, but not superconductors.
Mm.
That'll come, or something will come. Something will like either bypass it or whatever will happen.
Just build on compressed air.
Our beginning of material sciences has only just begun. Like
Just figure out how to compress air into like blocks and then just create sky blocks to build on as a foundation.
Giant blocks of air. Structural air.
Solidified. Instead of being in liquid form, it's like a solidified a gaseous form. New forms of solidification in the different,
you know what?
you know.
No. Like yes, but instead of it becoming, because that just condenses it, so it would shrink the air to have to make it solid and fill up the volume.
No, it doesn't.
But
It doesn't shrink
what
the
if it
air. It
actually
just
created
increases the density, but without the weight.
But what if it does it in a different
So
way?
instead of helium requiring like a balloon to be fitted into, it just got compressed together, and it was just like a block of helium which you could build on top of.
So instead of changing the density, like so instead of adding more particles, more molecules into the same volume, it takes the molecules that are in the volume and then orders them so that they become like a crystal or like a structure. You know what I mean?
Take
like
structure rather than
they take a structure
than a
and so
randomized form.
So that then the existing density suddenly has like a particular you know,
Mm.
strengths in
And
different.
similar to an ice block, it would automatically try and float. And as long as you were providing the maximum amount of downward
how would you?
solid pressure on top of it, it wouldn't float up into the atmosphere. It would
So
sit.
how would you do that? How would you? What kind of signal would you put through, say, air that made all of the molecules in it become ordered?
Mm.
Is
Here
it
we
like an
go,
electric?
Si.
Is it electrical sort of
The
something?
modernized weather programming. Being able to use Doppler radar to solidify blocks of air.
What? What a Doppler radar? Do you think?
Well, air's affected by frequency, obviously. Particle, excitement.
But maybe that like Doppler, that frequency, the thing like a radar would be sort
You
of
could
more
find
like
a certain sound or tune which allowed it to have that alignment.
I think what if you were able to, you'd do that you'd have to have like maybe three things that so it was able to simultaneously make a volume of sound and made all of the things structure enforced
within
all
a
of them
that's it, and then created
at
the
once.
block. That's it,
Yeah, in
almost
three
like a
dimensions.
yeah.
Like the sort of like 3D printing, like layered resin printing.
But
Where
you
it
hit it
uses
with a
like
frequency, and then it would
hit a
then
frequency in all three
it would then lock
sides.
the particles together in that
And
dance.
you'd use like speakers, which are those kind of flat array speakers. You know, there's these ones for, what's the company name? It's from Europe, Poly something. They make they make panel speakers, and they're flat and like.
I've seen them, yeah.
Yeah, and you can walk into
They
a space
use
and
metal.
suddenly you've got sound.
Use like a solid
and
metal.
There's like no sound.
Yeah.
Sound.
Pretty amazing.
So using those kind of like things, and then you just output like this flat, but use them and so you just got a full 3D representation of energy or something, basically.
That's it. Got to store their microwaves.
Locks it.
I remember seeing a movie
Does that make any
back
sense
in the
at all?
80s. It might have been. It was an Aussie movie where this guy was storing microwaves in fridges and washing machines and stuff.
What?
For mining. He's going to use microwaves for mining.
Like the actual microwave, like a cooking microwave. He was stealing them and hiding them.
And hiding them in appliances.
Why was he hiding them in appliances? Why didn't he just have like a wall of microwaves?
It was for gold mining.
No.
And it was to pummel the whole mountain. Like he was going to use he was storing all the microwaves in the equipment so that he could use the microwaves all simultaneously to pummel the whole mountain to get the gold.
Okay. That's fuck. Hundreds of years worth of microwaves.
All stored in the appliances. And then simultaneously
Released
released one huge burst to pummel the mountain.
And he's like secreted an entire power plant that just like powers them all at once. It just drains like the entire.
It blacks out the whole town in the process.
Totally.
Yeah, there was some great Aussie movies back in the 80s. Like some just out there stuff. Time traveling, space UFO cafes and stuff, and
really,
oh yeah,
time traveling
as
space
time
cafes.
goes by. It's called. I don't remember.
What
Something
happens
like
to a time
that.
traveling space cafe?
Try and find it. Oz movies as time goes by. Yep. As Time Goes By is a science fiction comedy about a bizarre encounter between a hard knock surfer and an alien set in the outback. Keeping an appointment made for him 25 years ago, Mike Taggart is surprised to find the meeting place is in the middle of the desert. During his journey, he encounters Ryder, an outback lawman, chip on his shoulder, and a tendency towards violence. He also meets Connie, attractive girl running a large property. Mike finds the alien, who turns out to be a time traveler, calling himself Joe Bogart. Alien needs help. Mike to help him find a power capsule for his spaceship, which is disguised as a 1940s diner. Quite funny.
I think no, I don't remember it. I want to remember the diner, but I think I've just seen diners. I have not seen this film. It sounds out there.
Yeah. Oh, it was. It was really good. Had
Oh, you've got to see it.
yeah. Yeah. Good movie. Like for an Aussie one. I used to love watching Aussie movies all the time. And we get some great productions done.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean for the Aussie, you know, types of movies.
Okay. Yeah, like sort of at the wake and fright level of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mad Max.
It was around that 1987.
Hmm.
Around that
Oh, is this
time
the
period.
movie?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got it up on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Is
Oh, I really enjoyed that one. It was good. And a good cast as well. Played it well. Max Gillies was in it. Original domestic VHF Slick offered this short synopsis.
I wonder where one could watch that these days.
Sure to be somewhere. Search it on
Let's have a look.
YouTube. Let's see.
What was it called?
As time goes by.
It's not on
7.
iTunes. Huh.
So trailer for it. Can't hear the audio, but
I don't know. It makes it a little more interesting, or just differently interesting. It's massive. It's killing it. It's like a catalyst die.
he's got his bottle.
Stir some scotch drinks.
good anyway. Copyright reasons, of course. Max Gillies as the alien.
Huh.
That's the whole movie. It's on YouTube.
Oh, we don't want to do that.
No,
I thought it was just
we
a
don't.
trailer.
No, I thought it was the whole. It's the whole movie.
No, that's not.
Anyway, for those interested, it is available.
That's the other. That wouldn't be right.
Mm.
Well, 30-second
That'll
glance
do.
across it.
That'll do.
Yeah.
So you got a bit
That
of an
face,
idea.
that face looks good. That's
Yeah.
a good face. Tells you all about everything you need to know.
Mm.
It's a suspicious.
It's dry. It's hot. It's That's Australia.
Yeah, this dude is just like, well, yeah, what's going on over there, bruss? It's fucking don't even. Fuck, it looks. Yeah, dodgy cunts. That's what she did. That's just dodgy.
Dodgy as. The
Dodgy
searches
fucking
on
cunts, mate.
YouTube
Yep.
finds it instantly.
Yep.
Yeah. Told you AI was my friend, so. Just knows.
Just knows.
Like I don't want to force myself into the code, but you know, sometimes yes is no.
Oh wow. Sometimes yes is no. Hey, look, I've really managed to succeed getting my arms behind my head. Like it's like,
I noticed that. Be back shortly. Blessing.
oh, stretching. My arms go all wonky. Barrel.
No, I imagine the streams will get a little bit more sort of cash, more along our conversation. That's because that's what I wanted it to be, more natural rather than oh, this, that, and the other. But whatever sort of sparks the interest
Oh, it does,
during
man.
the
And
week,
so, like,
you
it's
know.
interesting. Okay, I th I think seeing this crane around with Stargate properties, I find very interesting. Like, in up, in terms of we're near a massive military base
Mm,
up here in Sydney, two of them,
yeah,
and down the road's another one, big one, naval things and stuff.
close proximity
Yeah.
makes nervousness, or
No, no, that's nothing. Doesn't mean anything. But the
nuke me slow,
Stargate,
nuke me
no, but this it
slowly,
just
baby.
the Stargate constructions crane
Oh,
that's
okay.
building like a Stargate basically inside the just down the road.
Yep.
Yeah, and instead of like hiding, you just publicly conceal it. Oh, look at that Stargate crane. Oh, yeah, that's been there for a year or two now. It's just building something. It's building a Stargate.
Creating a Stargate for the
For the military.
travelers to come, because if you build it, they will come.
Like it just is like, would is it dick and balls? Is it that?
Is it just dick and balls?
You know what I mean? Like, is it that really?
Well,
That the Stargate crane's literally building it?
maybe,
No, just so that
maybe. You know, we've
the
been
great
talking about
unveiling.
the staircase to nowhere. Maybe it's
Yeah.
just the analogy for the starbase.
Wow.
I want a rocket launch pad here in Logan, and before 2030? I know it's tall order.
By 2030,
Mm,
7 years.
it's only 7 years. Yeah.
So
Better start figuring it out.
within 7 years, there'll be another 1 or 2 Artemis launches.
Mm-hmm.
SpaceX will have had the Starship will just be doing it. It'll
Doing
be
its thing.
launching. It'll be doing its thing. But I think relativity space will be very interesting.
Yep.
It's going to like rapidly scale its 3D
I know.
printing tech.
Gonna be
It's
good.
going to be like, yeah. And 3D printing and like AI like design of engine and manifolds and the movement of fuels and flows and how we'll manage like an intelligence, machine intelligence, like we'll be able to like do shit we can mathematically do, but not at a scale, and it will be able to do it to really, yeah. So we'll just get these crazy 3D printed, AI designed, just super efficient rockets.
Mm.
Things
Big,
gonna happen
big
quite
boys
quickly with
toys version of Kerbal Space.
because that's quite easy stuff. Like it's not hard stuff. So I think like I feel like the tokamak like thing fusion, like the fusion systems and
Yeah.
electromagnetic containment. And
Which we've got to do quite a bit more work on, but yeah,
well, it's you
getting
just
there.
need like you train you train an intelligence on the fluctuation, on the thing that it's meant to be measuring and how you want it to be, So this is the reward state that the plasma is contained, and then the magnetic field that you're adjusting contains it. That's the goal.
Yeah.
And then you create all of the sensors, and each one of those is just like a totally focused intelligence that's like measuring it, I don't know, a nanosecond, whatever, very fast. Whatever the fast thing is, however fast we can do it is better, So it measures and is able to adjust the electromagnetic containment field to keep the plasma on track. It's just a billion times a second, but in a million points. So, we could do the mathematics to do that, and we've got systems which do that at small, like already, like where they have 200 points that are doing that. That's how it works. And it's just, but to do it at massive scale, but also to be able to fluctuate the electromagnetic thing at like a billion times a second.
It's going to take a lot of processing.
Yeah, well, you just need something that knows. And I think that when we think about super intelligence, is that like that, having something that's got a million points simultaneously being adjusted a billion times a second, and it's just like it's just like modeling clay, like us just being on a potter's wheel with clay, and the AI is just doing that with like plasma,
containing it.
Just containing it, you know what I mean? Like with its magnetic hands, electromagnetic hands. That's
well, there's another addition for the robot specs.
Electromagnetic hands.
Similar to the altered carbon gun retrieval magnetic hand system.
Able to live adjust plasma and flow, frequency.
Special tickle the gobo.
Yeah. I think that's just something that we could like make immediately using the current technology. Just like whack a million points on a thing on a tokamak and train an AI and just give it a good old go.
Mm.
Yeah,
Let it have its first attempt.
And you have an overbrain. You'd have an overbrain that like managed the system, that like governed the overall design.
Well, you'd think
and then the
that
individual
the
points would
systems
have
that they
their
use
sub-AIs.
for the
Just almost
you know,
reflexes.
atom smashing, they would be something along the lines of a plasma directional system, aren't they?
It's electromagnetic, yeah. So it makes a curve
So
into a
their,
straight
you know,
line.
their colliders would be an electromagnetic containment system, essentially, in its, you know, basics. It's only containing a single atom or single, you know, a single set of atoms.
Yeah.
And then hyper accelerating that until it becomes plasma. But really, they are containing plasma within those magnetic fields.
Yeah, no, they are. Yeah.
So it's just a matter of scaling up that volume, but doing it in a way where it only needs to be in a, you know, something the size of a shoebox.
Yeah, so what you do is you have more resolution of points that can be adjusted. So, you know, instead of having them as being big, they can be
scale it down. Yeah.
Well,
but
because
still
you've got
have
like
the
a million
same.
points. You've got a million points. I mean, there's probably a volume of liquid or plasma or metal that needs to become to sort of get, you know, fusionable source. But I'm not sure what the amounts of those things are and how small a thing really could be. But it's not, doesn't have to be monstrous, I don't think. If you got the resolution and you can like hold the magnetic field in basically like, yeah, like clay, just with electromagnetic fields. And I think there'll be other things like that. Like, you know, you look at like Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
And the warp drive and the AI, like, and if you get into the lore of Star Trek, the ships are actually an AI network.
I was actually thinking about VIVE today.
I don't know how AI they are. I don't know that
special
deeply,
episode of VIVE.
They're they're like a network computer, and that the warp drive is actually like sort of a containment field, you know, containing plasma, yeah. And I just kind of realized that that's probably like, you know, visually why it will look that way is because that's how we will design it that way, because we think it's that way, because we drew it that way, you know. But
it was
but that's,
imagined.
yeah, well, we understood what plasma was at least by then anyhow, so wasn't too fantastical. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it'll be that hard. Like, maybe we can get it so that it's transparent. You know, there's like some kind of material like transparent aluminium or whatever it is, or
well, they've already done that now.
Graphene.
They've done the transparent aluminiums now. It's already been created.
See through like this full-on dense metal that's transparent, and inside there you can see the plasma just live cruising around as the AI like controls the magnetic fields. Yeah, that's the. I think, you know, I think we can have that by 2030.
Yeah. Put our minds to it. A global effort.
Not really. No, I think that's the thing with this. Like, if I'm saying you just train an intelligence to work in a network across all of the points, and so it's the same goal that each one's trying to achieve, which is to
create the thing.
And they're doing it as a network, and it's just how fast that you can give that network of intelligence a data point.
Yeah.
Like if you can give them a reading of the plasma every nanosecond or 100 millionth of a second, then it can adjust the magnetic field in 1 million points as an example number, you know, simultaneously as a networked thing, and compute that. Because it's like, it wouldn't be computing the maths every time. You'd get it on the AI, like you'd train the network, and then it would just.
Would you have it on a network, or would you have it directly interfaced? Like to the.
Oh, so each magnetic adjustment point, I think, has its whole own intelligence that controls it, and just studies that one point in the
Yeah,
data set.
yeah.
And
Maintains its position or its
yeah,
flux.
maintains its
Yeah.
flux. Yeah, yeah. And then you have an overbrain, which can see the entire picture,
Mm.
and then just gives like that picture and that sort of general the form to the individuals, so they just act in concert.
Yeah.
So you have like a dual layer of the intelligence working. So yeah, an overbrain and then all the subbrains working, and they're almost like reflexes, like the ends of like nerves, and
That's
the
it.
nervous response.
Lend us
is
your
like
zettabytes.
yeah, and the nervous response is
We'll
magnetic
rent,
field
we'll rent your
changes.
empty space.
Yeah,
The
as the
Internet
nerve
of
endings
Bodies.
respond. And that, I think that, yeah, and that what I'm thinking of there is just an extent, like this is an upgrade to how tokamaks work, because that's how they work, but not at that scale of that sensitivity, because we don't have the algorithms to like, it's just too much horsepower to do it.
Well, not yet.
But with an intelligence trained thing, it would be not much.
Just look at the progression
It'd be very
of
small, very cheap tech.
computing power, with the advent of the quantum computers.
Like, well, no, but
And
just think about
the similarly scaled AI increase.
Like, you think about what's a video game you play and a mouse or something, and what's the frequency you could have on a mouse? Like it's hertz or something.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
readings a second? 1,000?
That's correct. Yeah.
More? 4,000, I think, isn't it? Like,
Yeah. Well, I think mine goes up to 10,000 or something else. Something bullshit.
Okay.
Amount of, dots per square inch tracking. Or resolution.
And like, how frequently does it do it? What's its frequency of reads?
Well, depends, I guess, on how frequently I'm wobbling the mouse when I'm playing, Mech Warrior or any other game that I play.
Yeah, it's crazy, hey? Like,
yeah.
So, I think that you could use a bunch of sensors that were making readings every 16,000th of a second or easily, surely.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, you've got most of those frequency scanning stuff these days. I mean, buy RF readers and RF scanners, fairly cheaply these days. I think I bought a module board for $30. Does from it scans all RF from I think 5 kilohertz all the way through to 16,000 kilohertz, and it's broken down into several bands within those. But yeah, it does simultaneous scanning. It's only a really basic $30 frickin' circuit board. Or does it go up to a gig? It goes up to a gig or some shit.
What?
Not quite
Really?
satellite
It's
download.
scanning.
Yeah, just for world of hack.
That's good. Oh yeah.
But yeah, some friends of having some fun with the flipper, dolphin flipper.
Who's doing things with dolphins?
No, the RF hack tool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, multi-purpose RF hack tool, dolphin flipper.
So I need to go downstairs to the kitchen and fill up some liquid and
liquid refreshments.
It was good having the tall beer. it was enough that like there's another one there, but to open I'd have to drink the whole thing, and I don't want to drink the whole bit. Like it would be a waste.
Yeah.
So it feels like enough. It's good, and I've had and now I'm happy just to have some liquid health learnings, integrating things in healthy ways.
That's it.
After having
Not too much of anything and not too little of anything.
Liquid.
Well, this new setup seems to have worked pretty well.
I config.
Mm.
No, it's good.
Taking that little bit of extra time off my CPU is nice. But I can I've still got obviously the facility for a dial in and face capture and but I'll
Totally, you can do
get the
all of it. No,
laptop
it's
set up.
good.
I'll get the laptop completely set up for the AI. I may even run an internal instance and, like you said, create a database for the memory for it.
Well, there are modules you can install. Like there's different research papers and downloadable code that
Yeah.
can be
GitHub is your best friend.
plugged together.
Well, I still got to unpack the other waifu package that uses the what was it? VTuber Studio. The other like the 2D.
The 2D one.
Yeah, 2D live type thing. But that
Yeah,
also can be controlled by a AI avatar and or AI system. That was on GitHub. Runs all through Python, so. They're 2 hours 50 so far. Good run.
So anyway, back to those substrates. So what I think is that like what we just call, I don't know, the thing we just build on. We look at it and talk about its density and strength and like how far you have to build a foundation in. But it's but if you're building an orbit, it doesn't exist, right? Like you'd have to if you wanted to have, like you look at pictures of O'Neill cylinders that people draw in little renderings and shit, and it looks like it's all you know, land and green, and there's houses built on green grass and shit.
Yeah.
Right, but if you to import dirt everywhere and then build houses on it like we do on Earth,
wouldn't you just pick up dirt from the closest proximity? Like if you're near Mars and you grab Martian soil.
No, but if you need dirt for some reason, you would have like that piece would be dirt. And so what I think is that instead of like Earth, which is like its own substrate and we build on it, because we're constructing it, you can build it modularly. And whatever the module size is, 10 meters squared or something, just a number.
Yeah.
At the moment. But that module has certain functionality. Like a module could be like that can support grasses and plants and trees. Another one might be like have services in it.
Yeah.
to allow for the transmission of water and things. And you know, they may exist, of course, in the ones with that can have dirt. But I think where you have a house or something or a building, you wouldn't have a module that was dirt because that's really inefficient. You
Mm.
know, you'd have a structural module that bolted it into the system, you know,
Yeah.
and had like data and other services like that plugged in, you know, and 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 so I think that the way that we can like build, if we think about like orbital design, is that the first thing we need to think about is this substrate that we build on
Yeah.
and how that module works and how they connect. And
Well,
so we
wouldn't
can
it
like
be
create,
like, if you think about it, it'd be a
you know, any kind of
spine.
space we need.
Be similar to a spine. So
Shink.
you'd sink into it, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And then the other parts of it would be like a module anyway. So you'd have like a dirt module where you would your hydroponic
Yep.
system,
Yeah.
you know, or
And this is
your
at
whatever.
scale,
Yeah.
you know, Neil cylinders where there's like massive
You
module,
clip
like
in tile.
kilometers.
So yeah,
Yep, yep.
just clip
And you
in
design it as
tiles
you need
for
it.
it. But each one of those tiles
And
would
you might
have,
have a module.
access to water or power or
Whatever the things that it.
data or whatever the requirement. But the plugs would have all those facilities available.
Yep.
So as soon as
And
you
then you
clip
might
in the
have like the
module, then
modules.
it automatically gets those facilities. Essentially have it dependent on, whatever services it requires.
And also it's interesting, like the concept of building materials. Because once again, like if if we think about how we build on Earth, well, we build things out of stone and trees.
Yeah.
Oh, and metal, I guess, but stone.
Which is stone, just processed stone.
And that's it. We like, and I mean sand, but that's just stone. So, or shells or whatever. And if you're going to, once again, like, do we export that up? And, what makes sense? Like even growing a tree, well, it doesn't magically make molecules like, or atoms at least. If you've got dirt and you've planted a seed and you're growing
But
trees,
we've done
well,
hydroponics. A tree doesn't require soil, sire. It just requires nutrients.
But the nutrients still take volume.
Yeah.
Like they have to come from somewhere. They don't come from nowhere.
Yeah. But you could have a tree sitting in a gel, and then basically as long as the trunk is secure, then pretty much.
And I think you get more value in growing things in orbit. And so you have building. I said this is, I think that you want to make building materials that you're either printing or growing.
Yeah.
In that way.
Yeah. So the actual source would turn up as a solid block of whatever, and then nanites would break it down and then recompile it into whatever it was required for the purpose.
Maybe a simpler process, than, but definitely at that scale or something, it's just disassembled in small pieces and reassembled. Hey, like push
pretty
through
much.
A little of a nano factory.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that so that's it. I think so. I've been thinking about this basically this substrate idea. And I think that it's interesting also thinking about how you build. So if you're building in a Neil cylinder or whatever, the closer you get to the center of it, the lighter the gravity is. And so, like, what's the engineering of a building that weighs less as you go up, or it's has the same mass but it weighs less? Like, what's the wind
The
shear?
pondering sigh.
What is the wind shear on that?
Is there dust in space? Obviously there is.
No, there is.
Hmm.
Well, I was thinking about this
Why
also.
couldn't
Like,
you?
maybe
Why
you
couldn't you
collect
harvest the space dust?
that. I was thinking that just today, how you would do that, on a micro scale, instead of it like being
Yeah.
like, trying to deal with micro meteorites hitting you. Like, thank fuck,
Just
micro
suck them all
meteorites
in
hit
with a
you.
space
Yeah.
vacuum. Just
Space vacuum.
compress them down.
Make them capture them, use them.
There's your raw materials.
That makes your skin.
Compressed space dust. Things that dreams are made of.
Well, from what I gather, it probably already is compressed. It's just accumulated space dust.
Get enough of it
Like,
together.
Yeah, it's just like, oh man. Yes. Accumulation theory.
Accumulated space dust theory. All starts with a premise. We work our way to the primer.
Isn't that an interesting thing? Like, with it, like, if you imagine, like, say, the space station, and instead of trying to protect yourself from mini meteorite impact.
No, you'd be drawing them in, grabbing them. Grabbing them like
it's
a net. Just netting them.
Gonna want that.
Still here, just making less.
Just collecting in little bag, like sort of like this sort of underground sort of thing, and when they collect enough, it sort of, where does it store it? As an outer skin, but you can use it.
Be interesting to know whether or not you could use magnetics to like attract metals in space. Like obviously it's space dust. You think about how you use a magnet in pull metal filings from sand, something similar. Riverbed, run a magnet through it, pull the metal filings out, gather enough metal filings. You'd have the similar principle in space, wouldn't you? You created a huge magnetic attractant, gather, space dust a lot quicker.
I don't know. I mean, is it metallic? What? I don't know. If it is, I guess it might be.
People who've collected space dust would understand its composition.
Well,
you'd think.
Yeah, let's have a look. Just do a normal space.
That's cool. Just as you're looking at your computer, you're always sort of closed and your head's looking down at the little PC in front of you. Virtual studio.
Space dust is the result of countless years of planets and things hitting each other. No. Yeah. Carbon and silicates. And tiny grains of ice. So carbon. That's enough.
Tiny grains of ice. It's water.
Water, carbon, and silicates.
Sounds like
Use-
a
That's very useful.
Echo Bay to me.
And the ice would be like water and like, hydrogen and
Mm.
oxygen. Also probably like other kinds of ice, not just water ice.
Yeah.
So you get a few basic things like maybe some nitrogens and other types. You basically collect all the things you need.
Bit
I
of
suppose.
mercury ice. So I guess the thing would be the separation of those materials, the space dust, into their
So you vacuum up
order or their
the filter, so you filter them somehow into carbon. But look,
draw them off, and once you've got enough, you just compress it and create your molecular bonds. Shape it. Deploy it. Much pondering.
Would it sort of be then like a skin? So the first layer of the skin's like the vacuum cleaner. And then the vacuum cleaner underneath that's like a reservoir. And then the reservoir is kind of like a digestive system, which kind of processes the incoming things and then outputs them into sort of like a waste products, which is just ingots effectively of the base materials, like at the minimum,
Yeah.
that sort of, and then
And they
maybe
could
like
be at a nano scale, like, ultra thin wire, similar to your whole threading system. Have the little nanite spiders just basically
So
weaving webs to create the product.
Nano spiders. Yep, handling just like nano, basically like carbon nanofiber, like single.
It reprocessing. Come and gather its, fill its reservoir, and then go up and do its task. Come back, gather reservoir.
I wonder how much. Well, like look, there's enough. There's enough micrometeorites that hit the space station. Well, it's a major part of the planning. There's the design of the outer hull.
Yeah.
And how it can deflect energy and stuff because it's doing it all the time.
Yeah. Continuous bombardment. If they had some way of creating a shield, which then gathered that bombardment, and they wouldn't need to have any resources brought up from Earth. They could basically have their own little mini forge going on in space.
That's what we want, mini forge.
Space Forge. Talking about Space Force. Space Forge.
Okay, so this skin, it like vacuums in. Like
collects materials.
Maybe it like captures the energy of the impact and uses that to charge batteries, which it uses that to heat.
Some sort of
melt.
Kinetic transfer of energy.
So little nano springs. So the thing has like gets stuck in nano.
The complete opposite version of what we were talking about with the giant spring. Good work. Dark chocolate, friend.
Oh yeah, look, dark chocolate would be good. I need to stay. I did I got some 2 creaming soda Pepsis today, and I guess I think that having the one of them, it did help me
Mm.
become more alert and
Retain awakenedness.
mm, what would you
Tickle,
what would,
tickle, tickle.
it's interesting cruising around and
Mm.
trying to find things to eat that don't have aren't like in a something to do with bread or pastry or whatever.
Oh, yep.
And actually, another thing that I've noticed beyond that,
Grain-free, unleavened bread.
well, it's even sushi or whatever,
Mm.
but there's been a huge change, man. Like, this is not a complaint or anything, just an observation. But I remember, say, being, when you'd cruise out and about, that the corner thing would always be like burgers and chips, and maybe they didn't had less than that. Maybe they had like just Chico rolls and meat pies and things, yeah. But you cruise out and about, you try and find a fucking Chico roll. They're rare, man.
Yeah. Hey, look, the shocker.
You find sushi stores, all these other like chain stores, like whatever. But you don't find like something like a Chico roll. Do you think? Do you think like
I
you
try
could
to.
make an Australian successful fast food chain that reintroduced all the Australian staples,
Pie
but
chips
in
and
like
gravy.
like Chico roll,
Mmm.
pie, all the
Scallops.
things, yeah, but and just
Greasy truck food.
like
Greasy truck
faster than
stop food, but to
basically.
the door.
Well, also just drive through as well, like just accessible. Like I don't know, a chain. I think that, you do have the walk in, but that could get cheesy. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could like, how's it gonna look? And it could look cheesy. But I just think like the pickup drive through. So you just either walk up, it gives it to you. You've got the Uber order where you can drive up to the location and pick it up and go. And this is just, otherwise there's no front to it. You can't, you know what I mean? You can order from online and just, so I think that'd be like the way that
I'm getting so hungry now. I need a truck stop greasy 3-hour scallop.
But you can't access it. Like you can get all this other food. You can get as much Indian or pizza or fucking whatever. Like pie
Kebabs.
faces. Yeah, kebabs, Subway, whatever. But you can't get a meat pie. I mean, you can. So there's pie face.
Yeah.
But not pie face. Just Australian staples, like, and a collection of things.
I gotta say our local bakery does great pies. Very fond of their curry pies. People have always, I guess, wondered why pies were.
What do you think of the name, though? Would you play into the Australianism of it or not? Would you call it like Like it's clean like the milk bar or whatever. It
Mm.
sort of dates it.
Skippy Cafe.
Yeah. Is it like
Cafe
like,
Skippy. I think that'd be funny.
Skip? No, well.
Skip the Bushy's Cafe. Skippy's Bush Cafe.
Is an 18-year-old going to order from Skippy's
Could you get away
Bush
with
Cafe?
that without,
No,
infringing copyright?
The Skipper.
Skipper's Bush Cafe. So close.
But not the same.
Hmm?
And it's him like with the ahoy, but it's
Yeah.
like a
Ahoy,
like
you
a nautical.
cunts!
It's the nautical.
Skip's Bush Cafe. Ahoy, you cunts! You want to feed? Get this in ya. You bunch of drongos. I reckon you could. They got them Aussie cafes when you go overseas. They just need to have the menus right, You want a pie, you got to ask for a dog's eye.
Oh,
Got to use the colloquials.
Australians don't want to do that.
But see, the other
Do they?
overseas might want to see that Australian experience,
Oh, so you'd have to have two versions,
That's
basically.
it. Part of the culture is spitting on the meal, so no one else gets to take it. Mine.
No. I would lick it. I don't spit. I'd lick.
Spit's
So my
far
eyes-
more dominating. Like when you spit on something, it's definitely dominated that feed. That meal's been dominated by your spit all over it.
Spitting on your
Because
food.
no one else is going to touch it, are they, Si?
But people wouldn't do it if you lick it either, generally. But I know the spitting is definitely dominating. It has it's very sort of pushing yourself out from yourself.
It's both offensive and dominating simultaneously because you get this repulsion of the fact that if you touch that food, you're going to eat someone else's spit. The dominating factor because the person's looking around the table, seeing if there's anyone who would dare to eat his spit. Correct?
Spit eating. No, well.
So spitting on food is definitely a dominating experience.
Yeah, eat that. And everyone's like, no, not me.
I dare you. But there'd be one at the table that'd be like looking at you, especially in Australia. You'd be like, I'll eat that spit. I don't give a fuck. I'm hungry. I don't care if you shit on that meal. I'll still eat it.
I don't know. Is that a...
It's gonna get et regardless. I'm stealing them fries. I saw you put a big loogie on it, but I'm definitely stealing them fries. Flavor enhancer. That's when you dominate back. Like, it's the push of dominance. If someone spits on the meal, the dominant move in that position, the ultimate chess move is to just grab the bit which has got the biggest piece of spit on it, and then just gulp it down. Mine. And then the spittee will either look in horror at you, just going, nah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat that. And then that is like the reverse dominance card, the reverse dominance card.
Where you eat their spit.
Quite happy. Eat it. Because I get to eat the thing that you spat on. Because you thought that it was all yours, but it ain't. It ain't yours. Just remember that. There's always someone who'll go that one further.
I thought maybe just doing something simple like, I didn't know you were going to eat it. I was just going to say I would prick my finger and maybe bleed on it.
Well, that would probably be where the spiritual line is crossed, wouldn't it be?
There you go. There you go. That's mine.
Yeah. There you go.
You're gonna eat my own blood.
Yeah.
And then when they say no, then you just take and then just throw their bit of spit away. So you don't have to eat the spit. Just fucking come on.
Yeah. The ultimate dominance back. Cross that spiritual line. Go on, I dare you. Well, I mean, if you're willing to take your 17-year-old son's blood, I mean, I guess you've definitely crossed that spiritual line, haven't you?
Yeah,
Or
I'm not sure, like, if he's
or have you,
investing
you
in
know?
life science.
I mean,
I don't think he was investing in life
extending,
sciences. He's just being a nut. He's just not being a nut. I don't know what he's doing, but
testing out for the role of Vlad.
when you start eating your own children, you've fucked it up.
You've negated your time extension experience.
Mm-mm.
You'd want to hope his son isn't like Hunter.
I think his son's probably pretty controlled.
Living his best life and stuff.
There's a whole thing you can get into where you've like maybe he's managed to convince his son like some kind of multi-generational.
The beginning of the empire.
That's it. Brother Day, Brother Dawn, Brother Dusk.
Brother Dusk. I'm feeling pretty Brother Dusk at the moment.
I think so.
Oh, the cheap effort.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the rest of the current series of Foundation to have landed.
Yeah, before you do
and I'll do a month.
The month cramming session. You will enjoy. I've been thoroughly engrossed in it. It's not up to par where Altered Carbon was, but because I thought Altered Carbon definitely pushed quite a few boundaries and created some new precedents. But yeah, it's definitely a good series.
Yeah, no, this is good. I've got some things I'm doing tomorrow. Little adventures.
Cyber adventures.
Yeah,
Much goodness.
I'll do some work in the evening. I did some work today.
Keeping the flow.
Yeah, well, I didn't work a few days this week. So what did I do? I didn't work Tuesday. And Friday, I did some work on Thursday. But I didn't work Friday.
Most of my free time's just been either taking care of the boy or playing with the software, getting familiarized.
I've been studying Japanese. And getting that into a habit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to like just lock
create
it in and figure out
create
where
the
it fits.
meme and then let it flow.
Yeah. Figure out where it fits in properly. Make time for it.
Correct.
Good night, my friend. Good night, Gobo.
Yes. Gobo, waifu friend. Companion. AI companion. I did a video with her today, trying to reassure people's fear of AI.
Oh, interesting.
I'm going to try and do a little bit of a getting used to the future packages.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. May even churn out a few more of the little AI children-friendly stories. Adventures
Oh,
of Max and his friends.
little stories.
Yeah.
If you can't go under it, you can't go over it. Just have to go through it. Puss.
Use all their microwaves stored in their microwave ovens to simultaneously pulverize the mountain. Dust apart.
Good night.
No, brother, hang on. I'll stop the
Dude, stop the things.
stream first.
Do the sequence of things.